The College Station Regional, game 2 of the day. It's the 3 seed, Texas State, out of the Sun Belt, and the number 2 seed, Southern Cal Trojans, out of the Big Ten. We got started earlier today. Texas A&M, the host, the number 1 seed. It took a while, but they were able to get the win over Lamar. Final score 7-5. A&M advances to the 1-0 game tomorrow night. Lamar will play an elimination game tomorrow afternoon. The winner of this game will be Texas A&M here in College Station tomorrow night. And with that, we welcome you to Bryan College Station and Bluebell Park. Alongside former LSU All-American and 12-year big leaguer Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. Thanks so much for being with us. Game 1 today. It took a while for the Aggies, but they were able to escape.
Yeah, 6 hits. They did score 7 runs. 4 innings, they were shut out by Lamar, but in the 5th, 2 home runs by Gavin Grahovac and Chris Hakopian got them their first 3 runs. They ended up scoring the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th, and the Aggies take a 7-5 lead or win over Lamar to get to that 1-0 game tomorrow night.
So that was earlier today. Let's turn our attention to right now. Southern Cal and Texas State. Southern Cal has a pitcher on their staff that leads the country in strikeouts. He's not throwing, though, tonight. We'll see Mason Edwards tomorrow, one way or the other. But their number 2, Grant Govell, who is starting, is as good as a lot of number 1s in the country.
Yeah, we'll talk about Grant Govell in a minute. But as a staff, 3.5 ERA as a group for USC. It's pitching and defense for USC versus this powerful offense in Texas State behind Adrian, the alien. Texas State has hit 111 home runs, 239 extra base hits. That's top 10 in the country.
Tied for the 7th most nationally coming into this day. Alien, you said? Adrian the alien? Yep, that's what's in the Texas State dugout. That has become the rally. A beautiful Friday evening from deep in the heart of Texas. It is time for the Texas State Bobcats of the Southern Cal Trojans from Olson Field at Bluebell Park on the campus of Texas A&M. The Aggies won earlier today over Lamar. Now it's the Sun Belt and the Big Ten's turn here in College Station. Start with the batting order for the Texas State Bobcats. This is a team that can hit. Todd told you in the open, 111 home runs, a school record at 7 players in double figures in home runs. Rashawn Galloway at the top of the order. Well, he can really hit. 324 average in the leadoff spot. That's the best batting average on this team. And they are going to face Grant Govell, making his 16th start of the year. Opponents are hitting just 199 off the right-hander from Rolling Hills Estates, California.
10 wins and 15 starts. The boys love to play behind him. That's because he's gone into the 5th every start this year except for 1. Elite pitchability. He's not going to get a whole lot of strikeouts. His goal is to get early weak contact. 94, 95 on the fastball. And just carves up left-handed hitters at a 130 pace. Off-speed whiffs are high against the left-handers. And Texas State has 4 in the lineup today.
First pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball to Rashawn Galloway. The 0-1 from Govell. This one into the air, out into center field, where Takeuchi will wait for it to come down. Just a shade over toward the right center field gap. 1 batter, 1 out. Good start on the mound for Grant Govell. First team All Big Ten performer and also named to the Big Ten's All Defensive team. Fields his spot well. Manny Salas now will come to the plate for the Texas State Bobcats. He's from North Richland Hills, Texas. Bobcats making their 7th all-time NCAA regional appearance, one of the last 4 into the field of 64. Just the 3rd time in school history they have been selected as an at-large team. Salas hits into the shift, and that is 1 pitch and 1 out to Manny Salas. Efficient work early from Govell.
Well, he's going to throw strikes and be around the plate, and we know how aggressive this Texas State offense is. Look at the shift. 3 infielders on the right side. Sometimes that's tough for second base. It changes colors on you from the dirt to the grass, and you don't practice that a whole lot. But nice job over on the right side to get the 2nd out.
Covarrubias playing out in short right field on that one. That ball was 109 miles an hour off the bat of Manny Salas. He barreled it up. Here is Clayton Namkin, the freshman catcher for Texas State, who has had a really good season. All freshman team in the Sun Belt Conference. Was also named to the All Sun Belt Conference tournament team. Had 6 hits and 15 at-bats during the conference tournament in Montgomery, Alabama. At least mostly in Montgomery, Alabama. They had weather issues that called Texas State to actually have to go to Troy's home ballpark to play a couple of games before going back to Montgomery. Two and one to Namkin. Stephen Trout, the head coach of Texas State in his 7th season, 208 victories. Well, he was excited to be here when we visited with him yesterday. Had his daughter with him at the ballpark.
Yeah, the energy level is a different deal from Stephen Trout, who's been with Texas State for 13 seasons, 7 years as the head coach, and a good player himself, 326 at TCU, 2006, 2007. And, yeah, he loves this team.
Stephen Trout was at least as excited as his daughter Ellison was to have her with him at the park. What a start for Grant Govell. 3 up, 3 down, finishes it off with a strikeout. We'll see the Trojans, just 8 pitches in the top of the first. As we go to the bottom of the first inning at Blue Bell Park in College Station, Texas. Texas State and Southern Cal meeting for the first time ever. Andy Stankiewicz is the head coach at USC. He's got a lineup with some pop in it. You see Takuichi, who leads the team in runs, hits, and runs batted in. Jack Vasir has the best batting average on this team, batting in the 5-hole. And it's Augie Lopez hitting 3rd with 17 home runs to lead the Trojans this year. And I don't know that it's fair to call Andy Stankiewicz a miracle worker, but the job that he's done in the last 4 years at Southern Cal, really, really good.
First 40-win season since 2005. They started the year 19-0. They were the last remaining undefeated team in the country. Second straight NCAA tournament for Andy Stankiewicz, who spent 11 years at Grand Canyon. That name popped up in 2021 when they made the first regional ever at that school.
Ryan Marquardt is on the mound tonight, the senior left-hander from Texas, making his 7th start of the year. He's been a bullpen guy at times. He's been a starter at times. What is unquestioned is the experience that he has in college baseball.
Yeah, almost 300 college innings for Ryan Marquardt in his 6th year of college. 6 foot, 160 pounds, low 90s fastball, slider change. It's his 7th start of the year. He's better against the left-handed hitters, only hit .67. That's because he's slider heavy, the lefty on lefty matchup. 17 strikeouts in his last 2 outings.
Avery Covarrubias leading things off for Southern Cal. It's a left on right matchup. Covarrubias takes outside, and he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes to begin this at bat. USC 43-15 on the year. See a .275 average at the top of the lineup for Covarrubias. He takes a strike there, and the count goes to 2-1. Opponent's hitting .229 off of Ryan Marquardt, .368 ERA, 2 wins, 2 losses, 12th appearance of the year, 7th start. 2-1's fouled off, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Southern Cal started the season 19-0. It was a program record start to the year. This one fouled down the line. Another thing about this Southern Cal team, they have been a school without a home for the last couple of years. See 20-10 in the Big Ten. The 9 series sweeps were a program record. The previous high was 6. They had done that twice. Major renovation at Dado Field, the historic home of Southern Cal baseball over the last couple of years.
Ooh, that's close. A little bit low, says home plate umpire Connor Hoagland.
Full count. And that's ball 4, and Southern Cal has the leadoff man on base. Covarrubias draws the walk. Good take, obviously, on 2-2.
Pretty perfect first at bat for the USC Trojans. Covarrubias to get a walk, that shows the rest of the group what he's got. And Ryan Marquardt has to use all his pitches to the first hitter, so that's an advantage as a hitter to see what he's got early in this game.
Adrian Lopez batting in the 2-hole, the first baseman with 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Big right-hander stands in against the lefty Marquardt. This one off the end of the bat, a swinging bunt fielded by Marquardt. He throws to first just in time. When we talked about Govell defending his spot, Marquardt played that about as well as you can.
Yeah. That would have been a bare hand for a right-handed pitcher for Ryan Marquardt. Jumps off the mound, and what an athlete. We talked about Govell in the all-defensive team. How about Marquardt? Turns, spins, fires to first. That was a big out. It acted as a sacrifice bunt.
But it counts as an 0 for 1.
It counts as an 0 for 1. That's right. That's not fair.
Now Augie Lopez, the DH, comes to the plate. He is the biggest bopper in the lineup for Southern Cal. 17 home runs, 48 driven in on the year. Left-on-left matchup. Trojans with the runner in scoring position after the leadoff walk and that swinging bunt for an out. Lopez from Hermosa Beach. OPS not quite to 1,000. It's a piece of that one, and our home plate umpire Connor Hoagland checks on Namkin. Got a ricochet off, maybe the shin guard.
This is where Ryan Marquardt goes to work on the slider. 100 points lower left-handed hitters hitting off Ryan than the right-handed hitters.
Ball and a strike. And misses away. So how does your approach change as a left-handed hitter if you know the guy coming at you is best with his slider to lefties?
That's what I would have to protect against. So I never looked to pull lefty on lefty. I was a left-handed hitter, and you look up the middle the other way, let the ball travel. And then if you get in a situation where it's 2-0, 3-1, and you get a fastball count, that's when I started to leave early with the right shoulder, what they call cheating with the barrel. But lefty on lefty matchups are tough. You have to really let it get in there, and not too often they can bury a fastball in on you, so you're protecting against that slider away. And if he throws it, you just hit that gap on the left side. Big hole on the left side of the infield.
2-2 coming to Lopez, and he lays off the slider away. Is that where you want that 2-2 pitch?
No, you want it to be competitive. And I think even if he throws a slider that looks like it's going to be over the middle, might get a swing and miss. But low and away, a left-handed hitter can see that pretty early and be able to take it.
Full count. That one, fastball that was down and away. And that's the second base runner of the inning, both via walk from Ryan Marquardt.
It's not terrible. You do have one out, one pitch gets you out of the inning on a double play. You got first base open. You're not going to just split the plate and let the 3-hole Augie Lopez drive in the first run. So takes a chance, doesn't get a bite, and walks him, but now he's in a position where he just needs a ground ball.
So here is Kevin Takeuchi, junior from San Diego, 5'10", 180 pounds, from the right side, dealing with the left-handed pitcher. Hitting .305 on the year. Look out to second base, a little toss out there. Southern Cal playing in a regional for the second consecutive year. It's the first time they've been back-to-back in postseason play since 2001-2002. Hard to believe for a program with 12 national championships. that it's been nearly a quarter of a century, Todd, since they've played in a regional in consecutive years.
The great Rod Dato won 11 of those national championships. You know, the 70s and the 80s were West Coast baseball. They were winning all the championships. Georgia breaks through from the SEC in 1990, and LSU rolls off 5 within a 10-run span with Skip Bertman, but used to be Arizona State, USC, all you ever heard about.
121 Major League players from Southern Cal all time. They first won a Men's College World Series in 1948. Their most recent came in 1998. 2001, the last time USC made it to Omaha. They were in Omaha last week for the Big Ten tournament, played at Charles Schwab Field, made it to the semifinals. Had a battle and a heartbreaking loss to UCLA. Here the 1-0. Check swing, roller, right side, fielded by Stewart. He'll flip to Marquardt covering. Both runners move up, but there are 2 down in the inning. Ball is yet to leave the infield in this first inning.
Yeah, a little oop swing by Kevin Takeuchi, and almost gets away with it. Nice play by Stewart, getting over to his right, and Marquardt taking off toward the bag to get the second out. Now we're in the same situation he was before. You've got Jack Basier at the plate with first base open and 2 outs, so it's not a situation you're just going to pump a fastball down the middle. I would imagine he'd dance around the zone, and if he walks him, it's not the end of the world. They got the left-hander on deck.
So you've got walk, swinging bunt, walk, check swing that turns into an out, and now Jack Basier with 2 in scoring position and 2 out in the bottom of the first. And it's a first pitch strike to Basier.
And Basier thinking the same thing. Like, didn't think he'd get a fastball center cut on that one. And that's when you get froze up. You're looking for everything else but what ends up happening. And that's right down the middle. That could have been hammered, but when you're not looking for it, it's hard to pull the trigger.
Comes back with a hard breaking ball down low, and Basier is behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. This one hit hard off the chest of the third baseman, Mora. He'll throw to first, a scoop, and an out! Oh, what a play by Mora, and what a scoop at first base by Jacques Stewart.
99 off the bat, and a short hop to Mora, who kept it in front of him. Ball slipped away, but great recovery. And then Stewart on the other side with the pick. Let's see this again. Just a bullet right at third. Great job to get the Bobcats off the field.
A scoreless first inning. We go to the second in College Station. Opening round ball games. The inflatable alien has become kind of the secondary mascot for Texas State as they have played well down the stretch. Had a stretch of games where they really weren't playing well. Back-to-back weekends against the 4 best teams in the Sun Belt, and it was a struggle. And they discovered an alien underneath the bleachers at a ballpark that was just kind of down there, and they adopted it as their mascot, named it Adrian, and here they are in the postseason.
And it worked. Yeah, they dropped 2 or 3 at Troy. Southern Miss swept them. Coastal lost 2 or 3, and then South Alabama swept them. Found Adrian, and then go on and sweep Arkansas State and Marshall. So there's something to it. They won first 2 games of the Sun Belt tournament as well. So Adrian is pulling them through.
And whether there's actually something to it or not probably doesn't matter if they believe there is.
That's all that matters is what you believe. That's right.
This ball hit in the air, out into center field on the run, Fryman, and that ball off the wall, and it skips away from Fryman. What a good start to the inning for Jacques Stewart, the second team All Sun Belt Conference performer. He laced that one.
Yeah, he put a charge into that. Transfer from the Texas Longhorns. Jacques Stewart ripped that one. Fryman in center field, only making his 19th start, goes back and then realizes he can't catch it, bounces off the wall. Leadoff double for the Cats.
Stephen Trout said, I recruited Jacquay Stewart 3 different times, and we finally got him. And he has had a heck of a year. 16 home runs.
That's 240 extra base hits for the Texas State offense. That's top 6 in the country.
Got the communication devices that sometimes work and sometimes don't, and I guess everybody's going. You normally think about the pitcher with that, but you have fielders that wear them as well, and so Justin Vasos will now step in with Stewart out at second base and nobody out in the top of the second.
Man, Vasos has been hot. 5 hits in his last 5 games with 3 home runs. And started right here in College Station. Freshman year, he redshirted at Texas A&M.
Takes a strike. Count goes to 1-1. This one hit high into the air. Shallow right field. Basir has it fall. Couldn't get there. Throw to second. Not in time. Stewart could only advance 90 feet. Had to make sure that that ball was not caught. Sky may be a little tough right now.
I dealt with that with the Twins in the Metrodome. If ball would go up in the air at this time of day, it would just match the color of the baseball, and you literally just lose it. Not anything you can do worse than if it gets caught in the sun. And again, Basir just never saw it.
Kind of the early he ran to the right spot, but just lost the ball coming down.
You see it off the bat, so he knew in the general direction. But once you go up, and that's the key, you've got to watch that ball the second it leaves the barrel, because when you lose it, you'll never find it again. The only chance you had, we would practice that in the Metrodome, is watching it right off the barrel and never losing sight of it. Easier said than done.
Now Jackson Cotton, the freshman all Sun Belt Conference performer, comes to the plate hacking. So after an 8-pitch first inning from Grant Govell, he's got his work cut out for him here at the top of the second. Leadoff double. And then a pop fly single that falls when Basir couldn't see it.
And this is a situation where Jackson Cotton's really trying to pull the ball. They're going to concede the run. They're back on the right side. So you pull a ground ball to the right side. That moves the runner over to third with less than 2 outs and gets your first run home.
Big swing and a miss there by Jackson Cotton. That was certainly a pull swing.
And now you just need to put it in play. Strikeout does no good for anybody here. Put the ball in play, move the ball around somewhere, just get that run home. Because they're giving it to you.
Not just back on the right side, but all the way around on the infield. Cotton lays off and takes inside, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a great pitch by Govell. The last pitch you're thinking of as a hitter down in the count is a middle-in fastball cutting in.
The 2-2. This one runs inside. He came a little farther in that time at 93, and now a full count with nobody out in the inning and runners at second and third.
Yeah, if he buries that in, he gets a free strike 3. He just left it too far inside, and now you're in a situation with a hitter where you do have to protect against the off speed.
Full count pitch. He gets a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Too much up in the zone, or is that okay? He got the swing and miss, obviously.
Well, you're looking fastball, especially middle end. You feel like as a hitter, you got to get the barrel to that ball, and so it speeds you up. Then he drops that changeup on you at 84 miles an hour. What a great pitch by Govell, and that shows you the elite pitchability that we talked about at the beginning. The ability to land that pitch in a 3-2 count. And this is high leverage early in this game. A lot of traffic.
Now Chase Mora. Mora hitting .228 on the year, but he does have 10 home runs. One of the 7 players with 10 or more on this Texas State roster. Bobcats went 36-24 this year. Mora fouls this one wide of the bag at third. Stephen Trout was honest with us. He said, I thought and our team thought last Saturday that our season was over. Lost a pair of games to Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. They thought the season had come to an end. And then by Sunday, started looking at the numbers and said, well, maybe we've got a chance, kind of looking at the RPI and the total profile. This one popped down the right field line in foul ground, and that's going to go out of play. And when they got to Monday, they heard their name called and said it was like a new lease on life.
Yeah, and they feel like they're playing on house money now. And that allows you to play loose. He feels like his team has played loose most of the year. They had that rough stretch for about a month we talked about. But finished strong and have to be feeling pretty good about themselves. They definitely were yesterday in practice when they came in with the jam box.
Oh, yeah.
Playing that Pausa song, Dirty Money, and dancing their way into the stadium like they own the place.
With their Slam Marcos shirts on.
Yeah.
How about Little Man on the Berm down there a second ago? Did his night just get made? Go to a regional game and you get a foul ball. Already saw your team win earlier today. There he is.
You remember those moments, too. I remember the old Shreveport Captains, AA for the San Francisco Giants where I lived. And we're leaving the ballpark. I'm 10, maybe, because we always left early because my dad wanted to beat the traffic. And the only foul ball I ever got was out in the parking lot, bounced right in front of us, and I still remember it 40 years ago.
This ball in the air to right. The Sear underneath it. Should be deep enough to get a run home. Stewart tags. He comes home to score. Vasa advances to third, and Texas State is on the board first. They lead at 1-0.
What a difference 10 or 15 minutes makes. Couldn't see the ball, gave up the double to Justin Vasos, and now he sees it perfectly fine, but it does get the first run across for the Cats.
Thank you, Victor. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Arkansas Razorbacks get a win in Lawrence, Kansas. We are in College Station, Texas, the College Station Regional Game 2 of the day. Earlier today, Texas A&M a winner over Lamar. They advance to the 1-0 game tomorrow night. This is the 2-3 matchup. Texas State, the 3 seed. Southern Cal is the 2. And Texas State, thanks to a leadoff double and then a single that was just a pop fly to right field that was lost in the sky. Bobcats had runners at second and third. Just got a sacrifice fly from Chase Mora for the second out of the inning, but it got Texas State on the board. They strike first as Bennett Fryman, the junior from Frisco, Texas, tries to keep the inning alive with a runner at third and 2 down. Bennett Fryman, I think the team DJ, he was the one picking the music as they were coming in for practice yesterday. About as loose as I've ever seen a team on the day before regional play begins.
That was quite a scene. And a lot of fun to see these guys roll in here. But like I said, they didn't think they'd be here. Now they are making the most of it.
One of the last 4 teams into the field, but a dangerous team with 111 home runs on the year. Fryman gets a piece of that to stay alive at the plate.
Texas State is top 10 in the country with over 200 hits with 2 outs. And that's a deal that wins baseball games. Put a lot of pressure on yourself to try to get that run in. We've already talked about the offense for Texas State, 111 home runs, a program record. 240 extra base hits, top 10 in the country.
This one again fouled back by Govell. He's staying alive at the plate with a couple of outs in the inning. Texas State, one of 5 Sun Belt Conference teams into the field of 64. Just the 3rd time they've been selected as an at-large team as they make their 7th overall regional appearance. The last was in 2022. Made the trip out to the West Coast, played in the Stanford Regional, and made it all the way to the regional final. A couple of late home runs from Stanford were the difference in that ball game. Here comes the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Grant Govell, who had an 8-pitch first inning. Retired the first 3 in order. Ground ball to second, fielded by Covarrubias, over to Lopez, and that ends the inning. So 1 run for Texas State here in the top of the 2nd after a double and a single to start the inning, and the Bobcats strike first. We got started earlier today with Texas A&M and Lamar. The Aggies trailed 5-0 in the ball game, but Texas State could not hold that lead. 7-5 as the Aggies come back for the biggest deficit they have overcome since 2019 to get the win. They advance to the 1-0 game. Lamar will play in an elimination game tomorrow. We welcome you to Bluebell Park on the campus of Texas A&M. Alongside the 12-year big leaguer and All-American at LSU, Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. A huge contrast in styles with these two teams. Southern Cal can really pitch it. This Texas State team really swings the bat.
And play defense. Southern Cal has 10 shutouts. That's most in the country. We'll see their ace tomorrow night. Mason Edwards, the strikeout leader in the country. Grant Govell giving the start for them today. And on the other side, Texas State can really bash it. Slam Marcos is what they call that group. 111 home runs. That's tops in the country. And 240 extra base hits, like we mentioned. So they can bash the ball around the ballpark. So it's pitching versus powerful offense tonight.
And early it's offense as Texas State gets on the board with a run. You see the 111 home runs tied for 7th nationally. It's the most home runs in school history hit by Texas State. We'll see what the contrast is for Ryan Marquardt. He really had to work in the first inning, but he got out of it without giving up a run. Southern Cal walked twice, but both of those guys were left on base in the bottom of the first inning. And then Texas State already with a couple of doubles in the ball game. This was the ball that was hit out into right field. Basir, the right fielder for USC, couldn't find it.
I mean, it literally landed at his feet, but when you can't see it, that's an eerie feeling because there's just nothing that Vasos or Basir could have done. Vasos gets that double, 2 doubles in a row for Texas State, and they take a 1-0 lead.
So USC stranded a couple in the bottom of the first inning. Isaac Cadena leading things off, and he takes away for ball 1 on the 20th pitch of the night for Ryan Marquardt. What a day we have already had in regional play. 4 host teams, 1 seeds have lost today, including the #1 overall seed at UCLA. You see the lefty Ryan Marquardt making his 7th start of the season. It's been a mix of bullpen work and starting work, but he has been maybe their most consistent pitcher as of late.
Yeah, and a lot of experience. Almost 300 college innings in his 6th year of college. And low 90s fastball. He's better against the left-handers. Almost 100 points better against left-handed hitters than right-handers. 167 against sliders from left-handed to left-handers here. 17 strikeouts in his last 2 outings. So he's been very good, and the reason why he's on the mound tonight, just all the experience. The moment's not going to get too big for him.
Drops in a 3-0 strike, and the count goes to 3-1. The secondary mascot, kind of the rally point for this Texas State team, has been an alien that they found under the bleachers at one of their road games. Decided that he would travel with them, and it has coincided with them playing well and getting into a regional. Ryan Marquardt, they need a pep talk from Adrian the Alien. That's his 3rd walk in an inning plus.
Yeah, haven't been exactly accurate, but didn't give up a run in the first inning after 2 walks. Now another second inning in a row with a leadoff walk. And go out, Sean Allen, pitching coach. Or sorry, Josh Blackley, pitching coach, going out to have a word.
The NCAA regional coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home of all NCAA championships. You have had 4, mentioned it a second ago, host teams that have lost on day 1 of regional play. Southern Miss, the number 9 overall seed. The number 1 overall seed, UCLA, went down 3-2 at home to St. Mary's. That is the first time that the number 1 overall seed has lost its opening game in a regional. See, 2 seeds not so good so far. Arkansas, the first 2 seed, to win in their opening game in Lawrence, Kansas. Here's Maximo Martinez. What a name. Martinez, with some Trojan fans watching on here in College Station. Martinez hitting .256, the third baseman, batting in the 7 hole, takes a strike, and the count evens.
Well, going back to UCLA as the number 1 seed, nobody wants to do that. 1999, Miami, first time this field expanded to 64 as a 1 seed, won the national championship. Since then, only 1 team, 2024 Tennessee, has been the number 1 seed and won the national championship. So UCLA's 0-2 with that number 1 seed strapped to their name. Getting to Omaha. Regional in 2015 to Maryland, they lost, and then the Supers in 2019 to Michigan. Ironic 2 Big Ten schools had beaten them, but UCLA with a tough go with that number 1 pin to their name.
2 balls and a strike now to Maximo Martinez. Mentioned Tennessee, they're one of the teams that lost today 14 innings. They lost to East Carolina, with Godwin's club getting the better of first-year head coach Josh Elander with Tennessee. There's Tony Vitello, who was the manager of that Tennessee club when they won the national championship in 2024. Now I guess I should say the head coach at Tennessee, now the manager with the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, I don't know the difference, but you refer to college coaches as coaches and the big leagues as managers, which is probably the case because the front office runs big league clubs, you know, with the analytics and everything else going on. More of a managing personalities at the big league level.
It's not a transition that we've seen much of, college baseball to the big leagues directly, and especially in the case of Tony Vitello, where he had no professional baseball experience. Having played both, strike 3 called. Martinez goes away looking. Marquardt snuck the fastball in on the inside corner.
Yeah, up to this point, you'd consider Ryan Marquardt as effectively wild, meaning you can't guess along with him really because he really doesn't know where it's going to go and just freezes up Maximo Martinez right there on a fastball. But those are the toughest ones because a big part of hitting is guessing along with the hitter, the chess match. And if he doesn't know, then you don't know, and it's going to be tough.
Now Dean Carpentier comes to the plate, the shortstop batting in the 8 hole. So just finishing that thought, you played for Skip Bertman, one of the all-time legends in college baseball. Thinking about a college coach making the transition to the big leagues as a manager, does it feel like it should work? Should it be tried more often, or is that a bad transition? Or maybe a hard transition?
It's definitely a different game. Not to mention the players are less likely to listen to you in the big leagues making hundreds of millions of dollars than they ever would in college. And again, the front office has all their analytics and things going on. And remember Joe Madden with the Chicago Cubs retired because he couldn't run the team. He was being told who to pull out of the pen. who to start, who not to start, and so that's what you start getting into.
This ball ripped out into left field off the bat of Carpentier, and Southern Cal will have runners at first and second with one down.
Second
that ball jumped off the bat at 107 miles an hour.
Yeah, second inning in a row that the Trojans have had 2 base runners. Did not score in the first. Let's listen to this. That's 107. That's what that sounds like. And just
barrel
missile into left field.
Now the 9-hole hitter, Walter Urban, will come to the plate, the left fielder. I like having a 9-hole hitter with a .372 average. It's just the 10th start of the year for Walter Urban. He's played now in 31 games. Does not qualify for the everyday averages, but the freshman from Manhattan Beach swinging it well, especially as of late. Texas State with a run in the top of the second inning. Got a sacrifice fly from Chase Mora to score Jaquez Stewart, who led the inning off with a double. USC trying to answer here in the bottom of the second. Runners go, fouled away. Ryan Marquardt really working, and he has made heavy use of that rosin bag.
He's had a lot of traffic around him that he's had to navigate through. And now facing the freshman out of the 9 spot. This is a big out for him. Only 1 out. 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. And are they calling timeout for the train?
I hear the train coming. There it is. Frequent sight at the ballpark here in College Station. The train tracks just beyond the right field wall. A lot of ballparks that have got trains close by.
Brewster's Millions. Although that one ran through the middle of center field.
Then we really would have to take a timeout for the train to go all the way by.
Oh, my goodness.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Urban. First and second, 1 down in the inning. Marquardt would love a ground ball. Urban battling at the plate. Closing in on 40 pitches in the first 2 innings for Ryan Marquardt. Had a near capacity crowd for a hot game 1 today between Texas A&M and Lamar. Bluebell Park will be buzzing tomorrow night with the host Aggies playing in the 1-0 game.
Supposed to see an appearance of Aiden Sims, who hasn't pitched for Texas A&M. He's their best. Hadn't pitched in 3 weeks. And then, of course, on the other side, Mason Edwards for USC if the Trojans were to win this game.
Already a right-hander throwing in the bullpen for Texas State. That's Alec Beversdorf. Throw out to second base. A little bit of a late break by Vasos, the second baseman. Rules changed a couple of years ago to speed up the game. If the pitcher steps off, he's allowed to do that once during the at-bat. If you make that throw to second base, even if it's not a super competitive throw, it doesn't count as a step off.
That's why you'll always see him let it go, even if it's just a lob over to second. Walter Urban, freshman, was the 10th ranked outfielder out of the state of California last year. Top recruit. Manhattan Beach.
10th pitch of the at-bat. And Urban goes down on strikes. That's the second out of the inning. And Marquardt living like a cat with 9 lives right now.
Well, that slider low and in is the best swing and miss pitch a pitcher can throw when a hitter's looking for fastball. Fastball middle end, you get that thought in your mind, and you're going to wave at that pitch every time. It's the 9 spot, Irvin out.
Top of the order, Avery Villarubius walked his first time up. This one in on the hands. Charging is the shortstop. Bowles throws across his body. No scoop at first base, and now trying to come home to score. Cadena will do so. Ball gets away into the outfield. Now a throw to third, and that is in time. An out at third base. A lot of action. All of that results in a run, and we've now got a tie ball game.
I feel like Dan Carpentier bothered Bowles trying to make this throw. He double-clicked. Saw Stewart pick one early in the game. Can't do it there. Picks it up. Rifles it. Also, it's a second not paying attention, but they do get him at third. Gets Bobcats off the field.
1-1 ball game as we go to the top of the third inning. Texas State getting a run on a sacrifice fly in the top of the second. And then Isaac Cadena scoring after a leadoff walk in the bottom of the second. It's Nico Partita and Gavin Grahovac. I would have thought that Grahovac would have been somewhere getting, I don't know, an IV or a whole lot of hydration. He had some cramping issues late in the ball game. Texas A&M with a 7-5 win over Lamar earlier today. Brady Bowles leading the inning off. 9-hole hitter for Texas State. He's behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. An 8-pitch first inning for Grant Govell. He really had to work in the second inning. Pop foul behind home plate. Cadena gives it a chase, but that one's going to go into the seats and then bounce up into the second deck. That's the one you want to catch as a foul ball.
We got it.
Well done, Southern Cal fan, the souvenir. Got to get it ready for the Instagram. There we go.
Long way to go to get a foul ball, but he got it.
Makes the whole trip worthwhile.
That's right.
Bowles able to hold up there.
Good fight for Brady Bowles. Spent his freshman year last year at Panola Junior College. Played 50 games, 322 over there with a homer. Been red hot for the last 4 games. 4 hits and a double.
First pitch of the game for Govell. This one fouled off, and there goes the mask for our home plate umpire, Connor Hoagland. Appears to be okay. The rest of the umpiring crew will come in and check on him as well.
Oh, direct hit. That'll jar you a little bit.
Connor Hoagland behind the plate. Joe Harris at first base. Tim Winningham at second. And Kellen Levy, our third base umpire. That was fouled off directly into the mask. And we may have a home plate umpire change.
Yeah, that's almost like getting punched right in the face. That is not good.
We have an alternate umpire in this game or available as well. You go back to game 1 earlier today. Our home plate umpire in that ball game, Jake Uhlenhop, not working in the night game, at least not right now. And the concern right now is for Hoagland. Did not go to get different gear, but they're bringing him a new hat. Did the bill of his hat get split?
That's the first thing he looked at when he got popped, is the bill of his hat.
If that's the only
that'll be good news.
Tragedy out of that foul ball directly into the face mask of Connor Hoagland, then that is a win.
Yes. I think he'll be okay.
Was it the right size? Uh-oh. Wow.
Gets stunned and then checking the hat. Looks at it.
I think it broke the bill.
Yeah, maybe.
Got that plastic inside the fabric. It just split it. Good to see that Connor Hoagland, our home plate umpire, is okay. Gives us a thumbs up, which means he's ready to go. But you know, from time to time, those guys go, I'm glad we wear masks. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Coles goes away looking. The delay does not bother Grant Govell. It's his third strikeout.
Grant Govell made it easy for Connor Hoagland. Just pumps it right down Broadway. Brady Bowles must have been looking off speed. Just gets burnt by the fastball for the first out.
Back to the top of the order. And Rashawn Galloway, who flew out to center field his first time up, takes a big swing and comes up empty there. 12 home runs, 48 runs batted in on the year for Galloway. Second team All Sunbelt performer. Right side, Covarrubias flips it over to Lopez for the second out of the inning. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Astros fan in the house. About 100 miles from Houston here in College Station. About 100 miles to Houston, 100 miles to Austin. Two outs, bases empty for Manny Salas. USC playing the shift on him, with the second baseman Covarrubias out in shallow right field. And Salas, his first time up, he hit a rocket to Covarrubias. 109 miles an hour off the bat, but it was a pretty routine play.
Yeah, well, you can see why that first swing, that front side left early. Now he stays back a little bit, a little late on the pitch. In a hole 0-2. And this is where I never understood how the shift works, because right now Salas is looking off speed. He has to protect against the ball bouncing in the dirt. He doesn't want to swing and miss on any off speed. So if Grant Govell pumps a fastball in there, he is going to be late on it, drive it to the left side where there's only one infielder.
Salas stays alive with another 0-2 coming. He's hit 15 home runs this year, with a .315 average to go with that. So combination of hits and power. Has struck out 65 times. That's the second most on this Texas State team. Salas on the ground. It's the shortstop, Carpentier, on the second base side of the bag, able to make the play to end the inning. Stephen Trout is in his 7th year as head coach at Texas State. We'll talk with him when we come back. 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the third between Texas State and USC. Alongside Todd Walker, Richard Cross, glad to have you along tonight, and glad to be joined by Stephen Trout, 7th year head coach at Texas State. Coach, you got an alien taped to the wall in your dugout. You got a San Marcos shirt on, so that's kind of become the nickname for San Marcos. Your team looked as loose as they could be yesterday. Tell me what the vibe is, what the feeling is with your ball club right now.
Yeah, this has been our group all year long. They, they understand this is a game. They've been playing a long time as a kid, and the arena might have changed, the opponent might have changed, the postseason might have changed, but it's still a simple game. And so we want to have as much fun as we can doing it. Obviously, be focused and locked in, but you put too much pressure on yourself playing this game. It's really tough already. So we want to stay loose. The alien's here, the Slam Marcus is here. We're lucky to be in a 1-1 ball game right now, but hopefully we start playing a little better.
Well, and Ryan Marquardt on the mound feels pretty loose as well. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, just not working out front, right? He's got to get that sinker going, work into these guys and work out front. Obviously, 3 free 90s, and then, we've got to get off the field there. Finally got the ground ball. So hopefully we can get rolling a little bit, save our pin, get our offense going, and see what happens.
Stephen, thank you for the time. Wish you the best.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Enjoyed our visit yesterday with Stephen Trout. Talked a lot about second life for his ball club. They thought they were dead after the Saturday at the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Adrian Lopez at the plate, fouls this one off first base side. And then as all of the numbers were coming in and they were kind of crunching what was going on around the country, felt like, well, maybe there's a shot. Then on Monday they find out they're one of the last 4 teams in, and Coach Trout said, guys, they should have killed us when they had the chance. That's kind of the attitude that they've brought now to regional play.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. Daughter Ellison was in the dugout with him yesterday, too, acting like an assistant coach. And
she was great.
She was great. And, I know they're fired up to be here. Made a big run in 2022 in the Stanford Regional. They beat Stanford in that regional, so they were 2-0. And there's Adrian the Alien.
So Ellison there on the right, and then Banks, his son, who came in a little bit later, didn't get to ride the team bus.
That's great.
He told us a great story. So they played in Stanford in the 2022 regional. That was the last time that Texas State was in regional play. It was a long trip, so she obviously wasn't able to go along for the bus ride. And as they were talking about regionals, she said, hey, Daddy, I really want us to end up in Florida, because he promised her that she was going to be able to come along. He said, Ellison, I just want to be in a regional. I don't care where it is.
That's an impressive run. A lot of the records the program records that this team, 2026 Bobcat team, has broke was from that 2022 team that went out to Stanford, beat Santa Barbara on opening night, beat Stanford, and they were 2-0. Ended up losing 4-8 to Stanford, and then 4-3 in the final to get to the Super. And he told us they were 1 arm and 3 outs away from breaking through, but didn't do it. Now they're back with another shot.
Two and 0. Now to Augie Lopez after Adrian Lopez struck out. No relation, despite the fact that they hit back-to-back in the top part of the order. Augie Lopez, 17 home runs this year. Check swing. This one past the third baseman. Morris skips out into left field, and Augie Lopez will reach base for Southern Cal with 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
Moore's doing the right thing, charging the ball. You never want to lay flat-footed or go backwards. He's come in on the one back in the first inning and kicked it in front of him, was able to make the play. Here's another one on a short hop, just not able to grab the handle on it into left field. And I don't know if they'll score that a hit or not, but that was a tough play for Mora. My buddy Jeff Cirillo's listening. He was a third baseman. He would have made that play.
Yeah.
USC grad.
This ball hit into the air, out into left center field. Fryman on the run. That ball's going to hit at the base of the wall. Stopping at third is Lopez. That's a double for Takeuchi. Kevin Takeuchi with his first hit of the ball game, and USC's got something working here with second and third and one down in a 1-1 game.
Well, they did put an error on Mora, so an error gets Lopez to first base, and Takeuchi just puts a charge into this left center field. And that is a nice, compact, tight swing right there. Straight to the baseball with the barrel, and the deepest part of the ballpark. Missed a home run by 5 feet, 105 miles an hour off the bat.
Now Jack Basir to the plate. Basir goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. He was retired to end the first inning on a 100-mile-an-hour ground ball off the chest of the third baseman, Mora. Kind of skipped away from Mora onto the infield grass. He chased it down, and we would have loved to have had a radar gun on Mora's throw across to Stewart, who made a good pick at first base to end that inning.
Well, that's what makes that third base position so hard, because, you know, up the middle, second and short, you've got time with footwork. Third base, you're more like a hockey goalie. You just have to react. He's done the right thing twice, and that's your first step forward and get the glove out in front, try to get whatever hop you can. That one was just a very difficult short hop, a top spin play.
Lopez at third, Takeuchi out at second. 1-1 to Basir, swing and a miss. Marquardt working bottom of the zone there. You see Basir's numbers with runners in scoring position this year. Pretty good at 362, looking for a base hit here. Jack Basir's second team All Big Ten. 10 home runs, hitting .356 this year. And he puts it on the ground, left side, a base hit out into left field. Lopez comes home to score. Takeuchi stops at third. It's an RBI single for Jack Basir, his 37th driven in of the year, and Southern Cal takes its first lead, now up 2-1.
We're starting to get to Ryan Marquardt now. 3 barrels in a row. And Jack Basir just rolls it between that Tony Gwynn 5.5 hole and gets the second run across for the Trojans. Navigating through the middle of this lineup will be difficult for Ryan Marquardt.
Isaac Cadena scored the first run of the game for SC. Walked to start the inning and scored on that crazy play to end the inning. Michael Early in the house, wondering who his team will face tomorrow night. If it's Southern Cal, he will face the strikeout leader nationally, Mason Edwards, with 160 strikeouts this year. Cadena shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike one. Back standing.
Isaac Cadena, well-traveled. Ohio State, his freshman year, played at TCU last year, had 54 starts with 8 home runs. Gets out to the west coast.
I think we started to mention this earlier. Southern Cal the last couple of years has been a little bit of a homeless baseball team. Major renovation at Dato Field, named of course after Rod Dato, the legendary Southern Cal head coach. $28 million renovation. 2 years ago, they had all of their home games in Orange County, about 45 miles from the Southern Cal campus. 45 miles does not mean 45 minutes like it does where I live and perhaps where you live. Depending on traffic, it could be an hour and a half, even 2 hours to get there. But for game weekends, they would go on Thursday for home games to Great Ballpark.
Yeah, Great Park.
Great Park in Orange County. They would practice on Thursday and then check into the hotel and then would be in a hotel for the entire weekend. So 2 years ago, every weekend for the entire season, it was almost like a road game staying in hotels.
Yeah, and then they come back this year, get back into the ballpark after 2 years away, and go 32-1 at home.
Do you think they were glad to be
pretty
home?
Excited to be back.
This one bounces in front. Good read by Bashir. He scoots to second. Namkin able to keep that one close, but not able to keep the runner at first base. So now 2 in scoring position for the Trojans.
Nice block right here by Namkin, but just not able to keep Bashir at first base. Does save the run. And again, as a pitcher, you've got to trust that your catcher can block those balls. It opens up your pitching options.
2-2 to Cadena.
If you think it's going to get to the back wall, then you can't throw that pitch, but he does it again. And because of Namkin, he gets the strikeout.
2 down in the inning on the swing. That's pitch in the dirt. And Marquardt, who has had a little more control here in the 3rd inning after walking 3 in the first 2 innings. Trying to wriggle off the hook once again with a pair in scoring position. USC has stranded 3 through the first 2 innings. Maximo Martinez. Big swing and a miss for strike 1 to Martinez. Already 62 pitches in this game here with 2 outs in the 3rd for Ryan Marquardt. Martinez struck out looking his first time up, and another good job behind home plate by Cadena, or excuse me, by Namkin. That one gets the inside corner. And now Marquardt a pitch away from getting out of the inning.
That's a great pitch. Best pitch I always felt like a pitcher could throw to a hitter is the middle in fastball, because as a hitter now you're thinking, how do I get the barrel of that? And it makes you vulnerable to all the off-speed pitches because you're going to try to be out in front.
Martinez able to stay alive at the plate. If you caught any of the SEC tournament last weekend in Hoover, Alabama, you saw that they had the experimental use of ABS. Can't help but wonder if some of the pitches that are called strikes that you see in regional play this weekend, players would love to have the chance to say, hey, let's take a closer look at that one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The kids had fun with it. You know, you're only allowed to challenge if you're the pitcher, hitter, or catcher, but a lot of teams didn't allow their pitchers to challenge because of the emotion involved, and so it was basically the hitters and the catchers. Catchers did a great job, and 56% of the challenges were overturned. In the big leagues, first experimental deal when they did that in spring training last year, 52% of the challenges were overturned. So it was a little bit of an expansion of the zone, 1 inch on the outside corner, both sides. You know, played 17 inches. It was expanded to 19. Up and down was a little bigger.
This one runs inside, a check swing, but Martinez able to hold up.
Let's see if he held it back. Yeah, no problem there. At the end of the conversation is a lot of coaches in college will tell you, why do we have the same strike zone as the big leagues? I mean, these pitchers are 18 to 22 years old. They're pitching to metal bats. They're chasing velocity to try to get drafted. And that's why we got a high walk total in college baseball per game. It's almost 6.5, as opposed to the big leagues where it's down near 3 per game. So I was a favor of the ABS. A lot of fun, and you know, it expanded the zone.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming here to Maximo Martinez. And there will be a 9th. You know, there was another thing that I think emerged, and you talk about the overturn rate. You recognize that umpires sometimes get a bad rap, but they do a pretty good job overall.
100%. Yeah, I mean, they were just calling a new zone, too. I mean, that's what I'm trying to make a point about the expanded zone, is they were calling a brand new zone for that week, and it was tough.
Martinez out into center field on the run. Fryman reaches up and makes the catch. A step into the warning track. That is a big play in center field. Would have scored a couple of runs. But Southern Cal takes the lead here in the bottom of the third. Andy Stankiewicz. We'll visit with him coming up next. 2-1, Southern Cal in front of Texas State in this second game of the opening round here in College Station. Andy Stankiewicz is the head coach at USC in his fourth year. Coach, we've talked a little bit about the revitalization of your program. Back-to-back trips to a regional for the first time since 01-02. And you talked to us yesterday about kind of the pride and the importance that you feel in terms of this job and getting Southern Cal baseball back to where most people feel like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's part of the design when we first got here was like, hey, we knew we had some work in front of us, and we just wanted to kind of regain, just the legacy of the past. You guys know how good it's been for all those years, and so we knew we were a little bit dry, and we knew that we needed to kind of get back on it and play good baseball, and it's just been trying to be really fundamentally sound, nothing too crazy, just play good baseball.
Andy, Grant Govell, man, he's been playing good baseball. 3 innings, only 2 hits. What have you liked about him tonight?
Well, I like the shutdown. I mean, you got second and third, and you have no outs, and to get a 1 out of that, that's a big moment for him and for us. We lost the ball kind of in the twilight, but he just got back on the mound and just kind of gutted it out and got us back in the dugout with a 1. That was big. Change-ups working well, and we got to be careful. These big boys, they like that fastball. We just got to make sure we're hitting our spots. They're aggressive at the plate for sure.
Andy, thanks for your time. Wish you all the best.
All right, guys, my pleasure. Thank you.
Fourth year, 145 wins, 486 career wins after a long and successful run at Grand Canyon. This ball high in the air to right field. Galloway in the warning track, got that short wall in the bullpen, and he's able to make the catch for the first out of, not Galloway, but Vasir able to make that catch out in right field to retire Namco.
Yeah, and you talked about it. I mean, wow, what a turnover Andy Stankiewicz has done since he's been with this USC program. Inherited a team that finished last in the Pac-12 in 2022, 4th in the conference the next 2 years, 23 and 24. And then made the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. That was last year. And then this year, 40-win season. Started the season 19-0, ranked as high as number 12 in the country. And the longest winning streak in program history at 19-0. So, what a job he's done to bring them to where they're at now.
Jacquay Stewart doubled his first time up and scored the only run of the night for Texas State. Swings through the off-speed pitch upstairs, and the count evens at 1-1. Foul away, it's 1-2.
Jacquay Stewart was the perfect game National Player of the Week back in mid-April, weekend against Troy, where he had 5 hits and 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. A lot of pop coming from this kid.
This time, Stewart down on strikes. ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals for around-the-clock multi-game coverage. Scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with squeeze play. If you're not familiar with the QR code, just open the camera app on your phone and point it right there at the QR code. A little link will pop up. There you go.
There he is. He's on it.
Two quick outs in the inning. Trojans leading it over the Bobcats. 2-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Justin Vossas out tip there.
10 wins and 15 starts for Grant Govell, and it's because he's pitched him into the 5th inning every start he's made except for one. So he has got some longevity. Perfect choice to be the #1 starter in the opening game.
Play there in third by Martinez, and Texas State goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th. College Station, Texas. We've got Texas State and Southern Cal. It's fairly local except for one. Of course, Texas A&M hosting, 120 miles from San Marcos, 180 miles from Beaumont. And then, got to get on an airplane from Southern California. How about 1,500 miles from L.A. to Bryan College Station?
Long way. What a nice job that guy's done so far, Grant Govell. Only giving up the 2 hits, 1 run, and like we heard Andy Stankiewicz talk about, they lost one in the lights that gave up that 1 run. Otherwise, Grant Govell has been nasty tonight.
New pitcher into the ball game for Texas State. Alec Beversdorf is going to come in, the junior from Seabrook, Texas, at 6 feet and 185 pounds. Right-hander coming into the ball game. Beversdorf making his 17th appearance of the year, all in relief.
Only 9 walks in 29 innings. That's what you love about Alec. And it's kind of low 90s fastball, but he's going to mostly throw you curveballs and sliders. That's about 70% of his repertoire.
Carpentier leads off the inning. Showed bunt, pulled back, took a strike. And Carpentier with a single, and then he was out at third base trying to take an extra base when Texas State kind of started throwing it all over the place. Kind of a wild ending to the 2nd inning. Southern Cal in front 2-1. Out tip held on to there by Namkin. The 1-2. Strike 3 call. But a good start for Beversdorf. Paints the outside corner there.
Well, he is accurate. He'll move it in and out. And right about the time you start looking for that curveball, he'll burn that fastball in there. That nice spot, like you mentioned, just freezes up Dean Carpentier for the first out.
Walter Urban now coming to the plate for the Trojans. Fastball with some late life on it there. Swing and a miss from Urban. Start the at-bat. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning.
Well, we saw the out to get the strikeout. Now we see the end. Like I said, just the tail on the fastball. And he goes to work with the off speed.
Urban 16 hits and 44 at-bats this season. Mentioned it earlier tonight, making just his 10th start of the year. Out of left field, chases this one out of the zone, and is behind in the count.
These at-bats, you just, if you're righty-righty, left-handed hitters have a little more time to see this pitch, but righty on righty, you just basically have to guess. Is he coming in with the tail, or is he throwing the slider away? And if you're wrong, you're going to swing and miss.
Andy Stankiewicz bails out on that one. He didn't want any part of it. Reaching up and grabbing that with the bare hand.
A lot of times as a hitter, you can look one pitch but react to the other. But this is a tough at-bat for Walter Urban. Got to basically, now with 2 strikes, you got to protect against that slider away. But if he comes in, you just got to do the best you can to fight it off.
Southern Cal hitters have really battled at the plate. They pushed the pitch count for Marquardt. He threw 69 pitches in just 3 innings of work.
They're not overly offensive. 273 as a group. They do bunt a lot. 30 bunt sacrifices on the year, but they can pop you a homer. 78 home runs on the year. This ballpark during the day really flies. Wind's still blowing out, but the air gets a little heavier at night.
Walter Urban.
There it is right there. Bluebell Park right here in College Station. Most home runs per game in the SEC. And Georgia with all those powerful home runs.
Urban just in front of that one. Ripped it down the left field line. Bounces around in the corner, but it's a long foul ball. So this ballpark among the SEC ballparks gave up the most home runs per game, 3.88.
Most home runs hit are at Foley in Georgia, and of course in both those cases with A&M Aggies, and of course Georgia, the talent that plays here makes a difference, but still shows you how well the ball travels here at this ballpark.
One down in the inning, bases empty. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Alec Beversdorf since coming into the ball game. Earlier today, Texas A&M trailed 5-0, scored 7 unanswered to get the win over the 4-seed Lamar. Aggies advance to the 1-0 game tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 8 o'clock local time, first pitch. The winner of this game will take on Texas A&M. The loser of this game will play an elimination game tomorrow afternoon against the Lamar Cardinals.
Yeah, a big offense showed off in the second half of that game. They didn't score through the first 4 innings, although they created a lot of havoc on the bases. The 5th inning, they get 2 home runs. Chris Kopi and Gavin Grahovac, they scored 3 runs, climbed within 2, and then ended up finishing off Lamar earlier today.
That one gets the corner. Rubius with a ball and a strike. He has been on base out of the leadoff spot both times, with a walk back in the first inning, reached on an error in the second inning. Swings through the off speed there and is behind in the count. A muggy night in College Station. You see it there with Beversdorf. Rubius able to hold up.
So kind of what they're seeing right now. You see, you barely get almost a swing for strike 3 from the leadoff hitter, Avery, and so now that fastball middle in with the tail, that works.
We've had a middle infield shift defensively. This ball hammered and way out of the ballpark, but out in front. That is a foul ball onto the roof of the rec center.
Avery was looking for it. Now you can't leave it over the middle of the plate. You've got to get it inside on him, but he knows the sequence. Slider away, fastball in.
425-foot foul ball.
So that's the whole trick. Now you're guessing along with the pitcher. And now the next pitching sequence should be the slider away again.
2-2. This one lifted in the air to left field. Cotton going back to the wall. It's gone. Solo home run for Avery Covarrubias. 3rd home run of the year. And USC leads it 3-1. That was not slider away, right?
That was a slider. It just wasn't away. Missed his spot 2 times in a row. And Avery Covarrubias thinks along with him. Great at bat.
Towering home run there after the 425-foot foul ball. It's a 364-foot home run. And Adrian Lopez comes to the plate, and he takes a first pitch strike from Beversdorf.
Big year last year at USC for Adrian Lopez. 26 starts, hit 329, 21 doubles, 8 home runs.
That's just the third home run allowed by Alec Beversdorf all season in 29 innings coming into this ball game. Started to tell you a second ago, Bowles and Vasos have swapped places in the infield. You've now got Vasos at shortstop, and Bowles has moved over to second. This a little flare out into right field. That'll fall in for a base hit for Adrian Lopez. All of this happening with 2 outs after back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning.
Alex Beversdorf just carves up the 8 and 9 hole of this USC Trojan lineup. Rolls it over to the leadoff guy. Since then, a home run and now a base hit.
Conversation on the mound between Namkin and Beversdorf. This was a pretty good swing.
Yeah, it gets to the outside corner, but Avery stays back and just waits on it. Knew it was coming. Gets enough of the barrel to pull it out into left field. And Alex Beversdorf's trying to keep that slider tight and low and left it high enough that Covarrubias could get some leverage on that ball and extends the Trojans' lead.
Toss over to first. Cal, not a team that runs a ton. 74 stolen base attempts this year. They've got 57 bags. Covarrubias is their leading, Lopez at first base. He's 7 of 8 on the year.
Well, that's surprising because their coach, Andy Stankiewicz, was a base stealer. 100 stolen bases at Pepperdine back when he played.
Stankiewicz, head coach for Southern Cal, played with 4 different big league ball clubs. This ball ripped into right field by Augie Lopez. Adrian hits the bag at second and will go first to third, and that is 3 straight hits with 2 outs, the home run, and then back-to-back singles.
Yeah, something changed for Beversdorf on the mound. I mean, he couldn't get hit when he came in the game. Faced Dean Carpentier and Walter Urban. Lineup flips back to the leadoff spot. Now he can't get anybody out. This is just tailing back over the middle, a little low. Augie Lopez uses his legs, goes down and gets it, rips it into right field. 101 off the bat. Trojans still moving here in the bottom of the 4th.
Takeuchi doubled in the 3rd inning. Just missed a home run off the base of the wall. Trojan fans chanting Taki at the plate. Wild pitch gets Augie Lopez to second base in scoring position, and so now a base hit from Takeuchi would score a couple and give USC some breathing room. Now before this pitch, we're going to have another meeting. USC with 6 hits in the ball game, 3 of them coming consecutively here with 2 outs in the 4th. A 25-pitch inning in relief here for Alec Beversdorf. So 69 pitches for the starter, Marquardt, in 3 innings, and then 25 here in the inning after 2 quick strikeouts at the bottom of the order to start things off here in the 4th.
USC tied for 3rd in the Big Ten with Oregon. Got swept by UCLA this year earlier in April. Got swept by Nebraska middle of April. Lost to Oregon 2 out of 3. Went 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament.
Nebraska hosting at Haymarket Park in Lincoln. Won their opening round game earlier today. Night game happening there between Arizona State and Ole Miss. The score I saw on that, Arizona State was ahead 3-1. This one high into the air, left side, foul territory. Mora able to squeeze it for the final out. And so USC strands a couple, but a home run in the inning by Avery Covarrubias. We go to the top of the fifth inning at 3-1. USC out of the Big Ten, leading over Texas State from the Sun Belt Conference. Texas State, one of the last four in. You saw Liberty and Kentucky. Kentucky winning, Liberty winning today. Texas State currently trailing. Check in on Troy.
How about Jacksonville State? Pinning 15 so far in the bottom of the ninth over Virginia. Jacksonville State with 46 wins. Beat the brakes off of Auburn 15-4.
They did.
Back in April. Lost 2 one-run games to Bama. So Jacksonville State, 3 legit starters and a closer. Won Conference USA regular season. 10-run the tournament final against Liberty. That's the team to watch.
Jackson Cotton leading things off for Texas State. 6, 7, and 8 to start the fifth inning for the Bobcats. Kind of a wild day in the Hattiesburg Regional Day 1. You had the host Southern Miss going down after giving up 4 runs in the 9th inning to Little Rock. And now Jacksonville State up 15-7 on Virginia in the bottom of the 9th.
A lot of amazing scores. Yeah, how about Little Rock? They took that national championship LSU team to Game 7 of the regional last year in Baton Rouge. Now they're back.
The pool boys from UCF, if you were watching the selection show, they were watching it from as a team from the swimming pool.
Yeah.
They look plenty loose, and they're leading 9-3 over NC State in the Auburn regional. Auburn going down at home earlier today. Lost 13-8 to Milwaukee. Trailed 10-0 in that game.
Another surprise. Took everything Florida had to beat Rider today.
Florida led 4-0 in that game. Rider came back, took the lead. It was 7-7 late, and Florida able to get a run in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it 8-7. Florida team that has really been playing well over the last month or so.
Got through their third in that game, Russell Sandefur. So they've got Aiden King and Liam Peterson in their back pocket. They're 1-2. Cade McDonald, big star last month or so, two-way player.
Good at bat there for Jackson Cotton, earns the walk. Leadoff man aboard for the Bobcats of Texas State here in the fifth.
First walk for Grant Govell.
I was double checking on that to make sure that I had that right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been accurate. 3 up, 3 down in the first. A little traffic in the second. 3 up, 3 down in the third and the fourth.
This one hit high in the air to right field. Long run for Bashir. It's the second baseman, Covarrubias, going out and making that catch on the run in foul territory. That was well played.
Covarrubias with the home run in the fourth last inning, and then look at how far he's got to run to make this play. The toughest part about that play isn't the actual catch. It's kind of listening for the right fielder, whether or not he's going to call you out. Bashir's coming in. Lopez is tracking it, and that's where the collisions happen. And just keeping your concentration to make that call. Nice play.
Runner at first, one down. Bennett Fryman grounded out to second. in his first at bat. Texas State looking for their 7th all-time win in an NCAA regional. They are 6-12. That last win we talked about was over number 2 overall seed Stanford back in 2022. Palo Alto, the Stanford regional.
Yeah, that was a great team Texas State had back then. The 111 home runs this year's team has hit, broke the record from that 2022 team. They're top 3 in the country in double plays and a program record strikeouts on the mound for Texas State this year.
And they didn't just kind of break the record. They broke it by 24 and counting.
Yeah.
That 22 team had 87 home runs as a team, the 111th this year, coming into today's ball game, tied for 7th nationally.
And then the 240-plus extra base hits, top 10 in the country for Texas State.
That one gets the inside corner. And the count evens for Bennett Fryman. Runner goes. It's fouled away. Grant Govell making his 16th start of the season, but it's his 17th appearance of the year. Back in April, he had one outing where he came out of the bullpen. It was following his April 18th start at Nebraska. Worst outing of the year for him. Lasted just 3 innings, gave up 8 hits and 7 earned runs. Didn't like how that field, and so they got him some midweek action at Cal State Fullerton. Went out, pitched an inning scoreless, and boy, things got back on track in a hurry. 8 innings against Purdue, 7 innings against Rutgers, 6 innings against Nevada. 4 2/3 at Oregon, and then last week went 4 innings before having to come out against UCLA. You see the numbers for Govell this year, just really, really good.
Well, in the 10 wins and 15 starts, that's a big number. I mean, that's a lot of decisions. 10-2, 12 decisions in 15 starts with 1 appearance, like you mentioned, out of the bullpen.
Govell had to leave that start early against UCLA. Through 4 innings, he had given up 6 hits, but just 2 earned runs. He took a line drive off the kind of backside of his rib, so he turned his back after the delivery and took a line drive 112 miles an hour off the bat. He was able to finish the inning, but when he got into the dugout, things kind of tightened up. They decided not going to go back in this one. That was his 5th strikeout of the night, able to get Fryman. This was last week, last Saturday. Ooh.
112 miles an hour off the bat, slider away, and just not able to get out of the way of that pitch, or that hit.
Fast that gets on.
That had to hurt.
No doubt. Trying to stay warm in between innings. It looks like maybe pad on that area where he was hit a week ago. This ball hit high and deep to left field. It's got a chance. That's a fair ball. That is a home run, and we've got a tie ball game. A moonshot by Brady Bowles. Todd, off the bat, I thought no chance that stays fair, but it's like it was hooking, and then it just flattened out and stayed inside the pole, and that makes it 3-3.
Our viewpoint from here, that ball was foul all the way, and you saw his reaction. He didn't move when he hit it. He thought it was foul, and it pushed back into fair territory and gets out of the ballpark to tie the game.
Oh, now we got to pull out the tube. All kinds of celebrations in the dugout for Texas State in a new ball game at 3-3. And now quick conversation on the mound with Grant Govell. Just the second home run of the year for Brady Bowles.
Yeah, when he initially hit it, look at him. That's not watching a home run. That's thinking it's going foul. And somehow he got in on him just a little bit, but he did get leverage. Got some backspin on that ball, and it just came back into fair territory. I mean, that was blistered. It gets out of here.
Wind blowing out of the south and southwest may have pushed it back a little bit. You saw the reaction from Urban. There was no doubt in his mind that it was a fair ball. And then this pitch up and in hits Galloway. But did it catch the knob of the bat there for a foul ball?
I think it's a foul ball. See if it catches the knob of the bat here. It's hard to tell, but he didn't move, so.
Galloway, chopper, left side. That's past the third baseman, Martinez. He got caught in between on hops. And Texas State and their dugout coming to life over on the first base side.
Well, we saw Chase Moore on the other side for Texas State, third baseman, come in and try to catch two short hops. Right here, Maximo Martinez tries to give ground with it. That's going to be a tough play. That ball is top spinning. And to me, unless you get lucky, that's going to be a tough catch. And even then, you make the throw a little longer for yourself. Ideally, you want to get after that baseball. He couldn't do it and gets through.
Govell now dealing with Manny Salas, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. He gets his money's worth on that first cut, but comes up empty for strike one. Sacrifice fly for Texas State back in the second inning. Scored Jacque Stewart. And a two-run home run from Brady Bowles, just his second of the year. Has tied this game at 3. How about the 2 home runs that we've had in this game? Covarrubias, it was just his third, and now Bowles with his second.
We talked about this part being a little thin. Bandbox out here. You get it up in the air. Then it kind of backspin. It's got a great chance of getting out of here.
Hitter friendly, we might say.
Yeah. Call it a bandbox.
Especially this time of year where it's warm. Wind, when it's out of the south, helps balls to the outfield. Salas goes down on strikes, have to toss it down to first base. But a new game as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. What a swing by Brady Bowles. Kept it foul down the left field line to tie it at 3. Got 64 teams still with a dream of making it to Charles Schwab Field. Cade Smith making his 24th appearance of the year. Third pitcher of the game. Used by Texas State. So Alec Beversdorf last just an inning, and now Cade Smith's turn.
Most used pitcher out of the Texas State bullpen, those 24 appearances. Only 41 strikeouts in 60 innings, so he really doesn't have a swing and miss pitch, but man, is he accurate. Only 7 walks in 60 innings. Fastball 92, 93. But though the fastball slider to right-handers, fastball slider changed to left-handers.
5 starts this year. 24th appearance overall. Opponents hitting .311 off of Cade Smith. Jack Basir to lead things off, and Basir takes strike 1.
A little bit of a short arm delivery. That gets on you quick.
Basir quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the 3rd. Oh, and now he's hit by a pitch. Cade Smith fell down on the delivery.
Well, that's the second time today we've seen a pitcher slip with their lead. And it really looked like a slip. I don't know what happened. This time it was his right.
It's like his leg got caught trying to come through on the follow through.
Yeah,
that landing area, his left foot seemed to be okay.
Yeah, like his knee gave out.
So Basir was behind in the count, 0-2. And then hit by the pitch. Brings Isaac Cadena to the plate, who walked and scored his first time up, struck out in the third inning. Cadena, the catcher for the Trojans, 7 home runs, 31 driven in this year. Takes down and in there for ball 1. Base hit through the left side of the infield. It wasn't a full shift, but Vasos, the shortstop, was pulled up the middle. And Isaac Cadena just rocketed that one through the left side of the infield.
Yeah, they're on Cade Smith's fastball. And nice job going the other way. Sitting back, driving in through that left side. 105 off the bat for Isaac Cadena. First and second, nobody out for the Trojans in a tie ball game.
Georgia Bulldogs playing at home in Athens, hosting as the number 3 overall seed in the tournament. Well, a good bunt fielded by Smith. He'll flip to first. That's a sacrifice by Maximo Martinez. Moves Basir to third base and Cadena to second.
Not a big fan of the bunts, getting the guy from first to second. You give up an out, and then you're expecting somebody to get a base hit. But with first and second, nobody out, moving that runner over to third with less than 2, I like it. And especially in a tie ball game right here, Maximo Martinez just puts it down the right side. 2 runners moved into scoring position for the Trojans for the 8-hole. Dean Carpentier struck out his last time up.
Carpentier with a single in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. Well, what I was going to say about that Georgia game, it's suspended in the bottom of the 6th inning. Georgia leads Long Island 15-1. And they're going to pick that game back up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
How about the runs that Georgia and Georgia Tech, the 2 Georgia schools, have put up today?
Arguably the 2 best offenses in all of college baseball.
I don't know if you can argue that. Especially Georgia Tech. 360 as a group.
Georgia 15 runs, 16 hits. Long Island 1 run, 0 hits.
They can pitch it. Georgia's been a top 8 national seed for the last 8 years and only made it out of their own region once. But this year's different. Wes Johnson in his 3rd year, the SEC Coach of the Year, 3 40-win seasons in his 3rd year at Georgia, and got a couple Stanford transfers over there, USC transfer, Caden Aoki. They can go on the mound this year for Georgia.
It just feels like with every USC hitter you get to the plate, you look up and it's 2-2 or 3-2. They have fouled a lot of pitches off. They've shown good discipline at the plate as well. They're trying to retake the lead in a 3-3 game, bottom of the 5th with 2nd and 3rd and 1 down. It's another hit by pitch. 2nd of the inning. So a hit batter, a single, a sacrifice bunt, and then Carpenter hit by the pitch to load the bases. Tune in for UFL action all weekend long. It starts Saturday at 3 Eastern with Houston at Birmingham. That game on ESPN2. Then Sunday at noon, Orlando visits D.C. on ABC. Two big matchups, both streaming on the ESPN app.
Looks like Kate Smith's trying to get a little extra on that fastball and just letting it go a little early. 2 hit by pitches in this inning with a single and a sacrifice bunt. Bases loaded now for the 9-hole Walter Urban, who struck out twice in this game already.
Both times swinging for Urban, a .372 hitter on the year, making his 10th start of the season. He takes outside for ball 1. There's a strike. Basir at third, Cadena at second, Carpentier at first. Texas State led this game 1-0. USC got single runs in the second, third, and fourth, and then a 2-run home run in the top of the 5th inning from the 8-hole hitter the 9-hole hitter, Brady Bowles, with the 2-run home run, tie it at 3. USC now looking to retake the lead. Pick play to second, and that is an out at second base. Cadena got too far off the bag. Bowles broke in. The throw was perfect, and now 2 down.
That was a huge out. You have a guy sitting at third with less than 2 outs. Any ball in the outfield gets another run across, and Cadena just falls asleep at second base. Nice job by Bowles getting over there and making that play. Calling for it. Huge out for the Bobcats.
2-1 for Urban. Runner goes. They fake the throw. Nobody even covering the bag at second. So defensive indifference as Carpentier goes to second base.
Yeah, you saw Carpentier was going to hold up. If they did throw through, he was going to get a run down. And USC was trying to steal a run there, but they elect not to even challenge it.
Andy Stankiewicz, the head coach for USC, asking for time and is trying to talk with the home plate umpire, Connor Hoagland. Seven hits, 3 walks, a couple of HBPs. 2 Texas State errors, but only 3 runs on the board for USC. Urban down the right field line, but hit a foul ground into the net. Like to be a little better than 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Had the bases loaded with 1 out. Runner picked off at second. Now second and third with 2 down. Urban lays off. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count now full.
Kate Smith trying to get a bite, didn't do it, and I think he'd come back with that same pitch right here. It is the 9-hole hitter. You don't want to turn it over to Avery, who already has a home run in this game, but you get a swing and miss.
Full count pitch, got it in on the hands. Fly ball out to shallow right field. Coming in, Galloway makes the catch. Wow. Was not looking good for Texas State. That pickoff at second base, huge. We are tied at 3 through 5. College Station Regional, Texas A&M a winner over Lamar. Aggies were down 5-0. They scored 7 unanswered to get the win and move to the 1-0 game tomorrow night here at Bluebell Park. USC and Texas State battling right now for the chance to play Texas A&M in that 1-0 game. The loser of tonight's matchup will meet Lamar in an elimination game tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock local time here in Bryan College Station. 3 runs, 4 hits, couple of errors for the Bobcats, 3-7-0 for USC. Grant Govell back onto the mound, and he gets a first pitch pop-up on the right side of the infield. just camped out right there inside the line. Lopez makes the catch for the first out of the inning in the top of the 6th.
This Texas State team has beaten A&M this year. April the 7th got a 9-8 win in San Marcos. Lost on March 17th, so they split with them. And we've already talked about a couple years ago walking into the Stanford Regional and the only undefeated team, 2-0.
Texas State with some adversity in April. Just wins and losses adversity. A little bit of personnel adversity along the way also. And yet here they find themselves in the postseason. That stretch where they were swept by Southern Miss, lost 2 of 3 to Coastal Carolina, swept by South Alabama. Lost 2 to Troy kind of to begin that 4-week stretch. This pitch just missed inside. Troy, a regional team. Southern Miss, a regional host. Coastal Carolina, a regional team. South Alabama missed out on the postseason.
And then enter Adrian the Alien, who they found under the bleachers.
In Jonesboro, right?
I don't know if they found it in Jonesboro, San Marcos. Either way, they found him, and then they go to Arkansas State and sweep them. Finished the season sweeping Marshall, won the first 2 games of the Sun Belt tournament. Got on a little heater there.
And had a midweek win against Baylor after being swept by South Alabama and having lost 5 of 6 in conference play. Beat Baylor 9-6. And then had that sweep of Arkansas State. Really got things moving in the right direction. Sun Belt Conference tournament, they beat Appalachian State and Louisiana, then lost twice to Louisiana. Now the Texas State fans are taking a page out of the A&M fan book. 6 in a row have missed for Govell. And the ball 4 chant has turned into ball 5 and now ball 6. And there's a strike. And all the chanting comes to an end.
Grant Govell shaking his head. Seven pitches for Grant Govell. We talked about his capability to go deep in games. Velocity's still there.
Runner goes, ball on the ground. That's going to take away the double play opportunity, and just in time at first base. Vasos looked at the dugout and said, "Coach, let's challenge that." There was a hesitation there from Carpentier before he let it go.
Yeah, it's a little strange. I don't know if they're calling catcher's interference, but he acted like he wasn't even going to throw the baseball.
Texas State is challenging the call at first base. Previous plays under review.
They're going to challenge whether or not he beat the throw.
First base umpire Joe Harris said in time, so the ruling on the field out at first base.
Yeah, remember, Vasos started at second base and now has moved over to the left side. It's short. Holes in him shaded spots. Let's see if he got him at first base. Hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, not sure you can't see the ball there.
It's close. Also had to fire it over just to make it that close. I think he got him.
I think it's going to be an out. It's a double bag over there, so Vasos going to the green bag on the outside.
When we talk about these umpires, I mean, Joe Harris has to make that call in real time. We've watched it 6 times on replay. Still hard to tell, but I think he got him by half a step.
Couple of reviews across the 2 games today. I don't think we've had one overturned that I can remember. TV Sport Replay Operations Center. That's our NCAA Replay headquarters there in Pittsburgh. Get a peek. Long day for those guys and gals. What do you think? Call stands?
Yeah, I think he's going to stand. He's out.
After review, the call at first base is confirmed. The runner's out. Texas State has one challenge remaining.
So because that challenge was unsuccessful, Bobcats with just one challenge remaining in the game. Southern Cal has both of theirs.
Still a nice move to put the runner in motion. That would have been a potential double play. Now Texas State has a runner at second, 2 outs. Another mound visit, this time by Andy.
88 pitches tonight for Grant Govell. He's gone over 100 pitches just one time this year. Threw 101 pitches in 8 innings against Purdue back on April 25th. He's been at 89 and 88 in his last couple of starts, and that is where his night will come to an end. New pitcher, will tell you about him after this 3-3 game. 88 pitches tonight for Grant Govell. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts. The runner on second belongs to him, Jacque Stewart. 3-3 ball game with the runner on. He can be the loser, cannot be the winner in this game. Obviously, our first time seeing Govell in person. What do you think?
Oh, it's fantastic. And to your point, very efficient. You know, only 100 pitches one time, but he's been through the 5th in every start he's made. So, yeah, very efficient again tonight.
Sax Matson making his 33rd appearance of the year. 1-2, 4.14 ERA. A little better than 2-1 on the strikeout to walkout ratio, with 49 punch-outs and 20 walks on the year.
Low 90s fastball for Sax Matson. Left-handed hitters don't touch him. 120 against, but they're going to pinch hit right here for the left-hander Jackson Cotton.
The healer will get a chance. The first pitch from Matson way outside. Strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Three runs, 4 hits for Texas State. 3 runs, 7 hits for Southern Cal. This one fouled back. Blake B. Healer, freshman from Sugar Land and George Ranch High School. Placing Jackson Cotton, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. But Healer hits this ball high in the air to center field. Takeuchi moves over into the left center gap, makes the catch off the bat. That drew an ooh from the crowd, but he got under that one. 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage, scan the QR code below, the one right there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. Govell didn't want any part of the dugout. As soon as the inning was over, he went down to the bullpen to hang out with his pitching buddies.
Makes sense.
The Healer stays in the ball game and goes to left field. That's where Cotton was playing in the lineup. Cade Smith. Kind of mixed results in the 5th inning, but ultimately did not allow a run. He hit a batter, gave up a single, sac bunt, hit another batter, then got a pickoff and a flyout to end the inning. That pickoff at second base with 1 down and the bases loaded was huge. This one hit hard past the third baseman. Mora tried to backhand it. Avery Covarrubias heads to second, and he gets in safe as the throw is a little offline. A leadoff double for Covarrubias. He has been on base all 4 times tonight.
Yeah, that ball was ripped. Bat speed through that baseball went right through. He almost tripped going around first, still able to make it into second base. Mora at third base. Only chance he had was to block it. Gets up under him and a leadoff double for the Trojans.
Base runners have not been an issue tonight for USC. They have stranded 9 in the ball game. Bunt left side, and it's a good one, fielded by Mora. He'll throw to first. That gets the go-ahead run to third base with now 1 down in the inning. Executed perfectly by Adrian Lopez.
Well, good job by Chase Mora, too. He has to read that ball because of the second base runner. He can't just take off in or nobody's coming third base. Nice job of reading that, coming in, making a solid throw across. Trojans get the runner at third with less than 2 outs. Now they'll bring the infield in. This was always it's never easy to hit, but this was a more comfortable at bat for me because I felt like if I just put the ball in play, you could get that go-ahead run across, and basically you're just thinking don't strike out.
Infield will head toward the mound because we've got a meeting on the mound before this at-bat begins for Augie Lopez. Lopez has been on base all 3 times. He walked in the first inning, reached on an error in the third, and singled in the fourth. WWE's Clash in Italy hits this Sunday afternoon at 2 Eastern. Catch the first hour live on ESPN and stream the entire event on the ESPN app with an ESPN Unlimited plan. Adrian the Alien will be watching. You should too. New pitcher coming into the ballgame for Texas State. We will tell you about him when we come back. We are in College Station, Texas. Good one going between the 3-seed Texas State Bobcats and the 2-seed USC Trojans. 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Go-ahead run is at third base with 1 down in the inning and a new pitcher into the game. Dylan Curbo making his 18th appearance of the year. Curbo 1-1, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Low 90s fastball, good against right-handers and left-handers, about 230. Both sides of the plate, equal use of the curveball and the fastball to right-handed hitters. Mix in the change to the left-handers, about 30%.
Curbo from the Woodlands, too terribly far from here. Flowers Drive from where we sit here in Bryan College Station. Augie Lopez looking to get the run home from third. Goes after the first pitch, hits it to right field, but it's foul. Just barely hooking wide of the line, down the right field line. Alongside Todd Walker, Richard Cross, glad to be with you on this most fun weekend. Regional weekend, 16 sites, 4 teams at each. Double elimination format. The winners will advance to super regionals. Top 8 seeds are all protected. If those top 8 host seeds win, they are guaranteed to host a super regional. You had 4 hosts that have lost today. We saw Southern Miss go down at home to Little Rock. UCLA lost at home to St. Mary's. Florida State knocked off by St. John's. And Auburn got hammered today at home. They trailed 10-0. Ended up losing 13-8 in their ball game. Playing the early game on the Plains today. So those 4 teams have got a big hole to dig out of over the course. Got to win 4 in a row.
Last mid-major to win the national championship, 2016, Coastal Carolina, and it feels like this is the year of the mid-major. A lot of good ones. Jacksonville State rolled today.
Beat up on Virginia.
Yeah.
And you had Virginia Tech losing to Cal Poly out in Los Angeles. So your 1-0 game tomorrow will be between St. Mary's and Cal Poly at Jackie Robinson Stadium tomorrow night.
Did you have that on your bracket?
No, I did not. Pretty good crowd tonight here at Bluebell Park. It was full earlier today for Texas A&M and their win over Lamar. Got a few Aggie fans that have come back, some Southern Cal fans that have made the trip from the West Coast, and a good group from Texas State, less than 200 miles away. Swing and a miss. Lopez goes down on strikes. What a big strikeout there for Dylan Curbo. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, Texas State coming out with some big outs. They had the pick off a few innings ago at second base with the bases loaded, and now with a guy on third and less than 2 outs. The 3-hole Augie Lopez, all he has to do is put it in play with the infield in, and nice quality pitch on the outside corner with some tail from Dylan Curbo to get the second out.
So the infield defense now retreats back to the dirt, trying to get out of the inning with no damage done. First pitch strike to Takeuchi. Ground out in the first, a double in the third, and he popped out to the third baseman Mora to end the 4th inning. Go ahead run just 90 feet away for Southern Cal here in the bottom of the 6th. Step off there. First time in this at bat, so that'll reset the pitch clock. Should Curbo step off again, it will be an automatic ball. They've got a good one going in Lincoln tonight. Arizona State and Ole Miss tied at 6 in the 7th. This ball hit out to right field. Galloway on a full retreat, still on the run. Did he make the catch?
Oh, what a catch.
Yes, he did! Crashing into that low wall at the bullpen, and he is in serious pain, but he was able to hold on to the baseball. The out signal is made by the first base umpire, Joe Harris, but Galloway writhing in pain. He went hard into that wall, but what a play by the right fielder, Rashawn Galloway.
I mean, we talked about how the ball travels in this ballpark, so it is constantly moving away from Galloway, who's sprinting toward the wall. We heard that collision all the way up here, but hang on to it. How about Galloway in right field for the 3rd out? Saves a run to get the Bobcats off the field.
USC challenged whether or not this was a catch. Clearly, looking at it on the replay, Galloway able to make the catch, absorb the contact with the wall. Glove goes to the ground, ball still in it. You never see the ball come out. He does kind of cover it up there, but at that point, he's cradling it with 2 hands. He's hurting, but he made the catch.
That's such a great play in right field for a number of reasons. Ball moving away from you. You know the fence is coming in close to Rashawn Galloway, and that collision was loud, but so was the out. And it saves a run with the runner at 3rd. Dylan Curbo loves it. And it seems like he reached over the fence, got it caught under his arm, maybe, some ribs, got involved, but held on to the baseball.
That's the only part of the ballpark that has the lower walls, the right field visitors bullpen. certainly adds some excitement when you have that low wall. A little surprised that they're taking as long as they have to review this.
Yeah, but that's a catch. And a fantastic one.
But you pointed out he turned and was on a dead sprint to the outfield wall.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. Catch. USC has one challenge remaining.
So both teams with an unsuccessful challenge in this game, and now Southern Cal will head back out onto the field for the top of the 7th. What a play by Rashawn Galloway.
If Texas State ends up winning this game, we'll point back to that as a big turning point, because not only would that have scored a run, but that's at least a double or a triple.
We'll take a timeout. We're back to College Station in 60 seconds. 3-3 as we go to the 7th. We go to the 7th here in Bryan College Station. NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. A 3-3 game. Texas State 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. I think maybe the biggest emerging story in the game is how much traffic Southern Cal has had on the bases in this game. They have stranded 10 runners, and in the last 2 innings, they've left 3 in scoring position.
Texas State on the other side making the most of their opportunities. They've scored 3 runs, only left 3.
Chase Mora, the third baseman, leading off for Texas State.
How about this stat on Chase Mora? Back in 2023, he was the first player in NCAA history to hit a home run in his first 3 plate appearances in college. Pretty strong.
So do you walk away from that and go, well, what's the big deal? They talk about college baseball being hard. I mean,
not hard at all.
Hit it out of the yard every time.
That's right.
Texas State took the early lead tonight with a run in the top of the 2nd inning. USC answered with single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This ball lifted out to left field, and that one's going to die in front of Urban. He'll send it back in. That's a leadoff base runner in Chase Mora. Just the 5th hit of the game tonight for the Bobcats. Good way to start the 7th for Texas State, the 3 seed here in College Station.
He hit hard. Just got a little top spin on it. Drops down in front of Urban in left field, and leadoff base hit for Texas State.
Bennett Fryman 0 for 2. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Sax Matson out for he got a fly out to end the 6th inning, so 5 2/3 for Grant Govell. Gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs. This one bunted foul. And it's 0-2 to Bennett Fryman. 12 sacrifice bunts on the year for Texas State.
Yeah, it's a tough ask. Lefty on lefty matchup. Everything that Matson's going to throw to Fryman is going to be moving away from the barrel.
Fryman had 1 sacrifice bunt coming into tonight's game. Obviously, you take it off with 2 strikes there. Takes the ball away 1-2. Keeping an eye on Chase Mora over at first base. Mora 4 for 5 in stolen bases this year. Now 2-2 to Fryman. NC State and UCF have had their game suspended tonight. They're going to resume that one tomorrow. UCF in control. They're ahead 9-3 in the top of the 8th inning with a couple of outs. They 4 outs away from getting a win. They are done for the night in Auburn. They will pick it up tomorrow morning. Oregon hosting in Eugene, leading 14-2 over Yale. Fryman battling. He fell behind, no balls and 2 strikes after a couple of bunt attempts and couldn't get it down. He's worked the count to 2-2 and is fighting to stay alive at the plate. First time Texas State has ever played a team from the Big Ten. There's a throw to first. Runner was going on first move. That's a pickoff and a big out for the Trojans.
Once you don't get the bunt down, you try to force something, and Stephen Trout puts on the first move. You're right. That's not a read off the pitcher. That's just going the first step he takes. Matson guesses right, pickoff move, and they get the runner. Now it would hurt a little bit if Bennett Fryman put one in the gap.
Fryman really has battled in this at bat after falling behind 0-2. Sacks Matson from the stretch. And another foul ball. Way more pleasant at the ballpark than it was about 5 o'clock this afternoon.
What a great at bat. Bennett Fryman seeing Sacks Matson really well, tracking it, not trying to pull it, just staying with it, letting it travel deep into the zone. 2 foul balls. Now he's in a position where he's in a hitter's count.
10th pitch of the at bat right here. We will get an 11th.
Yeah, you just have to stay compact. A lot of times you'll do the right thing up to this point. Then you get to 3-2, think a fastball's coming, you get a little long. He can stay within himself, stay up the middle the other way. Got to be able to get a base hit here.
Just a battle. Spoiling good pitches. Another full count coming to Bennett Fryman, the junior from Frisco, Texas. Strike 3 call. Fryman goes away looking. He thought it was ball 4. Sacks Matson says, I will take it.
Well, that wasn't. And I think right there, Bennett Fryman just outguessed himself a little bit, thinking a slider's coming, and just gets burnt. Sacks Matson with a 4-seamer on the outside part of the plate. And that's a tough one. Go 12 pitches in battle and then just take strike 3. But again, I think Bennett Fryman was looking for that nasty slider and didn't get it.
Here's Brady Bowles, who has the biggest swing of the night for Texas State, down 3-1 at the bottom of the 5th inning. The 9-hole hitter with a 2-run home run. It was an absolute moonshot down the left field line.
And curved about 10 feet from foul to fair.
Looked like it was hooking foul, and then it just kind of straightened up inside the fair foul pole. And that's why we're sitting here at 3-3 in the top of the 7th inning. Just 5 hits in the ball game, but that one was a huge one for Brady Bowles. Just his 2nd home run of the year. Two balls and a strike now to Bowles. Brady Bowles, a sophomore from Lubbock, Texas. Two strikes now on Bowles. Started the game at shortstop. He's moved over to second base. He and Vasos swapped. I don't know that I remember seeing that just in the middle of a game for no apparent reason.
Well, Texas State lost their shortstop, Nelson Park, about a month ago, and so they've had to kind of mix and match.
Park started 48 games at short. Bowles made his 13th start at shortstop tonight. It's the first time that Vasos doesn't have a start at shortstop. They've come in and played at some point that spot. Closing in on 3 hours for this ball game. 3-3 here in the top of the 7th. On the ground left side, a base hit. Brady Bowles with his 2nd hit of the night. That is back-to-back. Really good at bats for Texas State. Now, the Fryman at bat ended in a strikeout, but Bowles battles. He's able to get one on the ground through the left side.
Yeah, I think Brady Bowles can thank Bennett Fryman for that base hit. Zach Madsen have to really work these last 2 hitters. 13 pitches to the 8-spot Fryman. Brady Bowles up there battling as well. Finally gets a pitch he can handle, rips it in the left side, and turns the lineup over with 2 outs.
Andy Stankiewicz making the trip out to the mound. Zach Madsen's night is done. New pitcher coming into for the Trojans, looking for the final out here in the 7th. We're back to College Station after this. So Zach Madsen with an inning of relief work for Southern Cal. Had to throw a lot of pitches to get an out and give up a single with the last 2 hitters he faced. And now the right-handed sophomore Andrew Johnson into the game. He's from San Juan Capistrano, California, making his 20th appearance of the year. And Andy Stankiewicz told us in a perfect scenario, maybe they hold Andrew Johnson potentially to use him as a starter later in the weekend. He said, but we won't not hesitate to go to this guy who they like a lot.
Well, a little bit of a chameleon for him. I mean, he has 10 starts on the year, 19 appearances, so 9 appearances out of the bullpen, so he can give you long relief. He can close games. Good numbers, 74 strikeouts to 71 2/3. Fastball, slider, curveball, and change to left-handers. And predominantly fastball, slider to right-handers, but very accurate.
Top of the order, Rashawn Galloway, who had a huge run-saving catch, crashing into the bullpen wall out in right field to end the bottom of the 6th inning. Now gets a chance to swing it with a runner on first and 2 down here in the top of the 7th. He's the leadoff hitter, 1 for 3 tonight. Fly out, ground out, and a single back in the 5th. This was the play we were talking about.
Yeah, just a bolt out to right field. And all the way back, hits the wall, holds on to the baseball. Obviously in pain. And again, we heard that bump in the outfield all the way up here in the press box.
He took a big swing right there, and you can tell he's smarting a bit.
Yeah, I think it's bothering him up under that arm. It caught the wall.
Top part of the rib cage.
Yeah. Still can swing the bat, though. Sun Belt Player of the Week back in March 24th, where he had 6 hits in 3 games versus Louisiana with 2 home runs. He had a 6 RBI game in that series. One of the nation's leaders in doubles.
Fouls it back, and you see a grimace as Galloway just kind of looks skyward after the swing. Certainly toughing it out right now.
Yeah, that left side's bothering him.
Stephen Trout is head coach. The coach is third base as well, giving him second to catch his breath. Assuming the first question was probably, "You okay?"
He's not coming out of this game, I can promise you that.
Sean Galloway from Bernie, Texas, Bernie High School. Just missed on the corner.
Played some catcher for him, first base, DH, left field, right field.
His dad grew up in Long Beach, was a Trojans fan. You know he's cheering for the Bobcats tonight, though. Big hopper left side. Shortstop going to make the long throw across in time. That's Carpentier over to Lopez to end the inning. Galloway retired at 6-3. Time to stretch at Bluebell. A 3-3 game. Beautiful night in Aggie land. The Aggies did their work in the heat earlier this afternoon, coming from 5 down to win 7-5 over Lamar. They advanced to the 1-0 game. Winner of this one will meet Texas A&M tomorrow night. A 3-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And once again, Texas State going to the bullpen. Wade Cooper is the 5th pitcher of the night used for the Bobcats. The freshman from Del Rio, Texas. Right-hander making his 22nd appearance of the year. 61 2/3 in those 22 appearances now. Previous 21 appearances.
Big arm, 95 miles an hour on the fastball. High spin rate on the curveball, almost 2,700. Fastball cutter, slider change to left-handers. Fastball cutter slider to right-handers.
16th relief appearance of the year for Wade Cooper. He's also got 6 starts this season. Basir, Cadena, and Martinez, the scheduled first 3 hitters in the inning for USC. Alongside Todd Walker and our entire ESPN crew here in College Station, I'm Richard Cross. We're glad to be with you from Olson Field at Bluebell Park. Game 2 of the day here in the College Station Regional. Texas State jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Run in the top of the 2nd inning. USC answered with single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Have not scored since. A 2-run home run from Brady Bowles, top of the 5th. Tied this game at 3, and that's where we stand here as Jack Basir looking to get on base for the 3rd time tonight. He's got 1 hit. Also has been hit by a pitch. Swings and misses and falls behind in the count 1-2. Three runs, 6 hits for Texas State. 3 runs, 8 hits for Southern Cal. Check swing, he went. Gonna run, try to beat out the throw. Will not be able to do so. Basir retired on the strikeout for the first out of strikeout for Wade Cooper.
The reason spin rate matters is because if you throw the same pitch with the same velocity, it ends up in a different spot. And for Wade Cooper, that tight spin on that curveball, you see how hard it is to track. Jack Basir swung through 2 of them.
Now Isaac Cadena from the left side. He walked and scored back in the 2nd, had a single in the 5th. takes down and in for ball one. We'll get going at 4 Eastern tomorrow, 3 Central time, local time here in College Station. Lamar will take on the loser of tonight's ball game. Then in the nightcap, what a scene it will be here in Aggieland with Texas A&M. And the winner of this ball game. Not the best day for the Sun Belt so far. Southern Miss losing at home as a host. Louisiana goes down 12-2. Troy trailing 4-3 to Miami. This ball on the ground, flagged by the shortstop. Vasos tries to make the throw, not in time. What an effort. Cadena with the single. He got down the line in a hurry, and Vasos did everything he could to record it out there.
Yeah, that ball was popped up the middle at 97 miles an hour. Effort's a good word. Vasos started the game at second base, moves over to the left side, and that's a longer throw and just wasn't able to grab his positioning. That would have been a very tough out. But first part of that was good.
Maximo Martinez 0 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt. This one bounces and goes to the backstop, and so Cadena will get into scoring position on the wild pitch.
Well, that's a gift. It's not much that Nomkin could do behind the plate. And that's just a result of Wade Cooper just trying to throw it too hard.
Strikeout looking, fly out, and the sac bunt for Martinez, who's looking for a base hit to potentially give Southern Cal the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners in scoring position in the 5th, 6th, and now the 7th. Actually had that in the 4th inning as well after the home run by Covarrubias. 2-0 to Martinez. Now 2-1. Cadena at second after the wild pitch. Martinez ahead of the count. Swing and a miss, and now it evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Strikeout. What a battle back there by Wade Cooper after being behind in the count. The pitcher was 2-0. Able to come back and get the strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning.
That's just nasty. That ball's dropping off the table, and you do pick up the spin as a hitter on that, but you just can't find a contact point. And especially when Wade Cooper keeps it low, he's not going to get a whole lot of balls in play on that one. That's why he's got more strikeouts than innings pitched. He can bury you with that curveball.
10 runners left on base tonight for Southern Cal, looking for a 2-out hit from Dean Carpentier. Ball and a strike to Carpentier. Single back in the 2nd inning, hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's been on base twice, has 1 hit in the game. Southern Cal has 5 hits with runners on base, but just 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Make it 1 for 13 again. A runner stranded with a chance to score. We go to the 8th, still 3-3. 3-3 as we go to the 8th. Chris Akopian hanging out from Texas A&M. How about Southern Cal? Tied after 7 this year. They're 4-1. Texas State 3-3 in that spot. Chris Akopian with a big 2-run home run that cut what was a 5-1 deficit to 5-3 in that Texas A&M come-from-behind win against Lamar. Aggies had not had a 5-run comeback victory all season. In fact, they had not since 2019. And they did today. Manny Salas left the bat out. That pitch was called a strike. Salas, Namkin, and Stewart 2, 3, and 4. Salas pops it up. Left side, there's only one infielder over there. Martinez will squeeze it for the first out here in the 8th.
Now, we've seen Texas State tonight be fairly aggressive. And Andrew Johnson countering that with hitting corners. Put it on the outside corner to Manny Salas. Can't do much with that.
Namkin looking for his first hit of the night. Strikeout, fly out, pop out. 0 for 3. Hits this one on the ground wide of the bag at third. Martinez gave it an effort, but wouldn't have mattered. On the ground to short. Carpentier over to Lopez, and there are 2 down. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home of all NCAA championships. USC went to Andrew Johnson in the 7th inning. Came in and got the final out. Jacquez Stewart for a team that has hit a bunch of home runs this year, 111, the most in school history. That was coming into the game. They're at 112 now. He's got 16 long balls on the year. Fouls it back and is quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
That's what you love about Andrew Johnson. Not only does he start, long relief, close, he works quickly. He's already ready to go, and as a defender, keeps you in the game. I've always said you don't make mistakes because you're not capable. It's because on defense your mind starts to wander, especially if innings get long or the pitcher takes his time. And Andrew Johnson did a nice job of getting the ball and go.
Johnson trying to have an easy inning here in the 8th. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gets a strikeout. Texas State goes 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Trojans' turn when we come back. We know that the SEC has had 6 straight national champions, but how about non-major conference schools that have gotten to Omaha? There was Stony Brook in 2012, along with Kent State. 2014, you had the Anteaters from UC Irvine. Fullerton made it in 2015 in Santa Barbara. And then in 2016, Coastal Carolina won it all. Fullerton, Oral Roberts, Coastal Carolina again a year ago, and also Murray State won the Oxford Regional, went to a Game 7 there, and then knocked Duke out in the Super Regional. Could Texas State be one of the teams that has that kind of a run in the postseason? They thought their season was over last Saturday. New life when they were one of the final 4 teams selected for the field.
I don't know, there's a bunch of good mid-majors that you could see making a run. Jacksonville State, they rolled today.
In terms of the last 4 in, you remember Michigan went out to UCLA, punched their ticket.
UCLA was the #1 seed that year.
That's right. Into the air, right side. Bowles, the second baseman, going out. He'll make the catch. And the 9-hole hitter, Walter Urban, is retired for the first out of the inning.
UCLA goes down today. We talked about the #1 seed. And only 2 this century, even before this century, have been the #1 seed and go all the way and win the whole thing. And so you don't want to be the #1 seed going into this tournament, and UCLA gets beat today.
It's their 7th loss of the season. Of those 4 1 seeds that have lost today, Southern Miss, UCLA, Florida State, Auburn, which one of those 4 is most equipped to win 4 games in a row and advance to a super regional?
Well, the Power 4 conference schools have more pitching depth, and so when you lose and you go down, Auburn, for example, that's their deal. Is they can really throw it. Jake Marciano did not have a good day, but they've got 3 horses at the start of that rotation that can really get it done. And I can see Auburn coming through that losers bracket with enough pitching to be powerful at the end.
Covarrubias has been on base all 4 times tonight, and he rips this one foul out in front of it. A walk, reached on an error, had a solo home run in the 4th inning, and then a double in the 6th. And looked a lot like that when Covarrubias hit one deep and foul, and then on the next pitch, kept it fair and got a home run.
But you know what's coming now. That big 12-6. Well, he gets the fastball up in the zone. Doesn't get the call. Let's see where this pitch landed. A little high.
It's close.
And working off that now with this 12-6.
And he gets a swing and a miss. Covarrubias throw down to first. 2 down in the inning. A big strikeout there for Wade Cooper.
That thing just has big time action on it. Down the middle, you just don't think it's going to break as much as it does. And Avery goes after it thinking he can get a piece of it, and it just hits the dirt. Wade Cooper with another strikeout.
Adrian Lopez, 1 hit in the ball game tonight, also a sacrifice. And he takes ball 1. 3-3 game, bottom of the 8th inning. USC the 2 seed out of the Big Ten. Texas State the 3 seed here in College Station out of the Sun Belt Conference. One of 5 Sun Belt teams to advance to regional play. This one lifted out to right field. Galloway on the run. That ball is gone. Adrian Lopez the opposite way. His 12th home run of the year. A solo shot, and USC leads it 4-3.
Adrian Lopez is just a header. That's a big boy going after that. 6'4", 210 pounds. Hit 329 last year, 300 this year. That's his 12th home run of the year. It goes the opposite direction with backspin and puts the Trojans out in front.
So a run in the bottom of the 8th for USC to take a 1-run lead. And now here is Augie Lopez. Goes after the first pitch and fouls at first base side.
The ability to stay back and still hit the ball that far, that was kind of a cutter down over the middle of the plate. He just stays back and rips it to right field. I don't think Galloway wanted any part of that fence again.
I think he knew where the fence was, certainly, as he was headed back. 12th home run of the year for Adrian Lopez. This guy, Augie Lopez, has got 17 home runs. He's been on base 3 times tonight, has 1 hit, and has scored a run. Two outs, bottom of the 8th, a solo home run to put USC in front. Right-hander Wade Cooper had been really good to that point, and this one gets away and it hits Augie Lopez, and he'll head down to first base. 2-out base runner.
Wade Cooper has been really good. Had struck out 3 of the first 6 hitters he faced, but now with the home run and then losing his cool a little bit, hitting the 3 spot, Augie Lopez. Get a mound visit from Josh Blackley.
Tire infield will come in. You would assume that Southern Cal is comfortable with Andrew Johnson on the mound to try and close this out in the top of the 9th inning. Although they do have Adam Troy up in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's their closer. 12 saves on the year. But you got to like the way Andrew Johnson's throwing, and I don't know if they use Adam Troy in this situation or not, but he is their guy.
Yeah, I'm going to say if they've got a guy with 12 saves.
And it's a 1-run game, yeah. Makes sense. Go ahead.
Go get those final 3 for me, big guy.
Yeah. It limits the pitch count for Andrew Johnson, who could bounce back. And then you get your closer in the game. First day of the regional.
Takeuchi at the plate, 1 for 4 tonight. He's ahead 2-0 in the count. Had a double in the 3rd inning. Just missed a home run. Hit at the base of the wall at a deep left center field, deepest part of the ballpark. On the ground, foul. Miami's leading Troy 4-3, so they're back playing in Gainesville. Had a weather delay in that one. Coastal Carolina trying to climb back into a ball game against Northern Illinois. 3-run deficit. They're down 10-7. Arizona State and Ole Miss tied at 6 in the 9th inning in Lincoln. Good fastball there at 92 from Wade Cooper. Gets the swing and miss from Takeuchi.
That 92 above the belt looks like 96 if you're a hitter. I mean, it's just coming in quick. It is hard to catch up to.
Swing and a miss. So Wade Cooper gets a strikeout to end the inning, but a solo home run. Adrian Lopez drives it the opposite way into the bullpen. It's 4-3 as we go to the 9th. Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. Pretty easy. Mr. Lopez ran the opposite way into the bullpen. A solo home run. Bottom of the 8th to give his team, the Trojans of USC, a 1-run lead as we go to the 9th.
That just happened. Base hit earlier in the 4th inning. 2 hits for Adrian Lopez, who had a sac bunt. The at bat before he goes deep, and the Trojans take the lead with 3 outs to go.
At least for now, Andrew Johnson stays in the ball game. We told you that Adam Troy was up and getting loose. 12 saves for him on the year. Justin Vassos leading things off, and he swings through and misses that, and the count goes to 1-1. Texas State 36-24 on the year. Looking for some 9th inning Olsen magic. USC trying to become what, just the second 2 seed to win a game today in regional play. Arkansas was the first. That pitch just off the plate. Strike called to Vassos, and the count goes to 2-2.
Andrew Johnson doing a nice job of keeping it low in the zone. Just missed.
Full count to the leadoff hitter, Justin Vassos. 20th pitch for Andrew Johnson right here since coming into the game. On the ground left side, off the glove of Martinez, not going to be able to make a play. The tying run is on base for Texas State to lead things off in the top of the 9th.
It has been a tough night for third baseman, both for Maximo Martinez and Chase Mora. Way back on the grass to cover the angles and just gets the short hop, not able to come up with it. The Bobcats get the leadoff runner on base.
E5 on that play. Pinch hitter for Texas State here. Blake Fahealer had come into this spot replacing Jackson Cotton. He flew out in the 6th inning. And now Samson Pugh. Don't cut Samson's hair. Stepping to the plate here in the top of the 9th. And he squares to bunt, and it's back to the mound. Peak to second base, but they'll go to first to get the sure out. Andrew Johnson thought about it. At first glance at Samson Johnson, you didn't necessarily think that's the guy they're sending up to the plate to bunt, but he does it perfectly. Samson Pugh. Sacrifice there. First out of the inning. Now Chase Mora. We're going to run back in the second. His 32nd RBI of the year. Now a timeout. And perhaps it's Adam Troy time. Indeed it is. Andy Stankiewicz makes the point to the bullpen. And Adam Troy coming in to try and pick up his 13th save of the year. 4-3, USC in front, 2 outs away from an opening round victory in College Station. You may have seen the reaction on the mound from Andrew Johnson as he was pulled from the ball game. He wanted to finish this one out, but Andy Stankiewicz says we're going to hand it off to our closer, Adam Troy, from just down the road in Houston, Texas, making his 29th appearance of the year. 12 saves on the season, being called on to try and get the final 2 outs here in the 9th.
What a great name for a Trojan. Adam Troy, 94, 95 miles an hour on the fastball.
You just beat me to that.
Ridiculous. Against right-handed hitters, only 133 against, 200 points higher for left-handed hitters. But he's going to face 2 of the next 3 hitters are right-handed. And fastball, curveball, slider change for Adam Troy.
Solo home run in the bottom of the 8th inning for Southern Cal. Adrian Lopez drove one over the right field wall, down in the corner, went the opposite way, put the Trojans ahead 4-3. 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error for USC. 3-6-2 tonight for Texas State. tying run in scoring position. This ball hit in the air to left. Urban going back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Chase Mora with his 11th home run of the season. No bigger swing for him this year. A 2-run shot in the top of the 9th to make it 5-4 Texas State.
We've talked about Chase Mora being the first player in NCAA history to hit home runs in his first 3 plate appearances in a college uniform. And he comes full circle here in 2026. And what a dramatic home run here in the top of the 9th. In this regional, a better time for Chase Mora to go deep.
Head coach of USC, Andy Stankwitz, made the decision to go to the bullpen. He went and got Adam Troy, who's got 12 saves, as Bennett Fryman rips that one through the right side of the infield for a base hit.
I mean, this ball is just center cut by Adam Troy. And Chase Mora was all over it. Knew it right away, and that crushed to left field. And then splits the plate again on Bennett Fryman. 2 barrels in a row for the Bobcats. We've already talked about the offense and how powerful they are. They come up big here in the top of the 9th.
Slam Marcos indeed here in the top of the 9th inning. A solo home run from USC in the bottom of the 8th to put the Trojans up a run. But a massive answer here in the top of the 9th. A 2-run shot from Chase Mora. One of 7 in this Texas State lineup in double-digit home runs this year. They're up to 113 on the season. Just adding on to the record. Trying to calm Adam Troy down a bit. Certainly if you're USC, you want to keep this a 1-run game and give yourself a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Two games in a row where it's been tough for Adam Troy. In the Big Ten tournament, he worked an inning and 2/3 and gave up that late lead to UCLA in the come-from-behind victory. Lost that game 7-5 and gives up a home run here in the 9th. We'll see how the rest of the story goes.
Well, it just shows you it doesn't matter how hard you throw it. You've got to have a little movement on your fastball, and you definitely have to hit spots. And Adam Troy just comes in this game and tries to get a fastball by this heavy-hitting Texas State lineup, and it just doesn't work.
Brady Bowles has a home run tonight. A 2-for-3 game going for the 9-hole hitter. Two-run homer in the 5th for Brady Bowles that tied this game at 3. Ball and a strike. Texas State fans banging on the rails, stomping on the bleachers, making some noise late in this Texas Friday night. This ball in the air out into left center field. Takeuchi over toward the gap makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Texas State led it 1-0. USC scored single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then they went 3 innings without scoring. Texas State tied it at 3 in the 5th inning, and then they went 3 innings without scoring, but they get a 2-run home run here in the top of the 9th to take a 5-4 lead. Here is Rashawn Galloway. Grounded out to short in the 7th inning to end the inning, and really was struggling swinging the bat. crashed into the wall and made that incredible run-saving catch earlier in the game. That was in the bottom of the 6th inning. Takeuchi went the opposite way, flirted with a home run, and Galloway robbed him.
Yeah, this is a guy you got to be careful with. 27 doubles on the year. That's top 5 in the country. Over 40 extra base hits for Rashawn Galloway out of the leadoff spot.
Green light him here with 2 outs and a runner at first.
I don't like the green light with a runner at first. Runner at second or third with 2 outs, yeah.
Fastball strike in 94. Bennett Fryman at first base. Got the single immediately after the 2-run home run. 3 balls and a strike to Galloway. And now the count full.
He's got to be hurt. 3-1, you know a fastball's coming, and he's that late on it. Just can't get the rotation going on the upper half after hitting that wall in right field a few innings ago.
Decision to pull Andrew Johnson. Talked about it at the time. Looked like he really wanted to stay in this ball game. After the sacrifice punt. Oh, look at the reaction again there from Galloway. You ever had bruised rib, and then you're trying to swing with the speed and power that he is. That hurts.
All the moving parts to get a swing off is, you got anything bothering you at all, even small, and it becomes magnified. But he hit that fence pretty hard. Yeah, he's going to feel it tomorrow, but he's feeling it right now. It's going to be worse tomorrow.
A few extra hours if Texas State wins this game, hangs on and wins, might be beneficial for Galloway. Although he may need more than a few hours. Hits it high into the air. It's the center fielder, Takeuchi, calling for it and making the catch. Texas State with a 2-run home run. Chase Mora, his 11th of the year. A no-doubter to deep left center field to give Texas State the lead. Now it's USC's turn. Can they find some Olsen magic in the bottom of the 9th? Chase Mora with his team down 1 and a runner on second base. No doubt about it. Adrian and all the knockoff Adrians thrilled as Texas State now has a 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 3-3 going into the 8th. Southern Cal took the lead with a solo home run in the bottom of the 8th. Texas State answers. Chase Mora for now the hero. Jack Basir leading things off for USC here in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 5-4. First pitch strike from Wade Cooper. Cooper's worked 2 innings of relief. He's given up 2 hits and has allowed just 1 run.
He's been really good. Faced 9 hitters, struck out 4. A couple of weak outs, didn't get up the home run to Adrian Lopez. He has been around the zone, and he is snapping off that 12-6 curveball.
This one fouled away. A couple of defensive changes for Texas State. Quay Stewart has moved from first base out to left field. The new right fielder is Pugh, who came in and laid down the sacrifice bunt. And DeFury now at first base. There's a swing and a miss. Out number one here in the bottom of the ninth. Texas State 2 outs away.
That's his out pitch. Wade Cooper, 2,600 spin rate on that. Major League average is at 2,500, so it shows you how much rotation he has on that curveball. Texas State pitching already set a program record for strikeouts. Add 12 more to that. 12 strikeouts tonight.
Isaac Cadena, a couple of hits and a walk. He scored a run. And he takes ball one. 5 strikeouts for Cooper since coming in. 5th pitcher of the night used by the Bobcats. He has recorded 7 outs. Strike 2 on Cadena. Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Maximo Martinez waits on deck for USC.
Wade Cooper might throw him a fastball just to show him, but he is going to spin it just about every other pitch.
Up and away.
Yeah, there's the show. Not exactly where he wanted to put it. Non-competitive, but all the Trojans, the hitting knows what Wade Cooper's going to try to get him out with.
Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper delivers. Just missed outside. Cooper thought it was strike 3, and certainly the Bobcats fans did. Take another look.
I think a lot of people thought it was strike 3, but that just shows you that they're just not picking up the spin. A lot of swing and misses, and that take right there.
Look, it was off the plate. Full count pitch to Cadena. Ball 4, tying run on base. Strikeout to start the inning, and then a full count walk to Isaac Cadena, and that will bring Maximo Martinez. Unless they pinch hit, it looks like they may do just that. Andy Stankiewicz calling on Andrew Lamb to come in as a pinch hitter. Nothing like cold off the bench. 3 hours and 45 minutes in.
Yeah, that was a tough assignment. Come off the bench, sit for 3 hours, really nowhere to hit and warm up.
Son of big leaguer Mike Lamb, Andrew Lamb with 10 home runs on the year, 33 runs batted in. He's a .266 hitter. He's got 45 starts this year. Ball and a strike to the left-handed hitting Andrew Lamb. Tying run at first. Lamb represents the winning run for USC. Runner starts to go and then stops. Being a bluff towards second. Pitch called a strike.
Cadena 5 of 6 on stolen bases, and you know you're going to get a little more time because Wade Cooper's going to throw that curveball.
The 1-2. Nankin quietly has done a really good job defensively behind home plate tonight.
Yeah, he's blocking a lot. Only thrown out 17% of the runners, 8 for 46. But that would have been a good pitch to go on.
USC looking for somehow, some way, going to run across the plate. This ball into the air, out to right field. Pugh moving over, reaches up and makes the catch. ran it down in the gap. Pugh had just come into the game as a defensive replacement. Calls it in, and Texas State now an out away.
Pugh made that look a lot easier than it is. Like you mentioned, just got in the ball game, has to track down a ball in right center field, and he does. And that was a big out. The ball initially looked like it was going to split the gap and get the the tying run in, but Pugh cuts it off. Nice play in right field.
Talk about coming in cold off the bench. Samson Pugh does that, and he gets the sacrifice bunt down and then makes a great catch out in right field. Now it's Dean Carpentier. Last chance for Southern Cal. Bottom of the ninth inning, down a run, 5-4. Tying run at first base. Carpentier swings at one that was 3 feet from the end of his bat. Runner gets to second on the ball in the dirt. Cadena does. So he is in scoring position. But Dean Carpentier not only down to the last out, but down to his last strike.
Yeah, he didn't even see that. That was a total guess. He has got to let the ball travel. Get out of the hand of Wade Cooper before he reacts. Eliminate the pull side. Let it travel in.
Cadena at second. One misses for ball one to Carpentier.
That's a great take. That's intended to be a swing and miss pitch. Looks like a strike, falls out of the zone.
Appeal, and Carpentier able to hold up.
Now he's tightened up after that wild swing.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run at second base. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. Texas State with a 5-4 lead. This ball hit. Diving catch made it third by Mora. He hits what turns out to be the game-winning home run and then makes a diving stab to win it for Texas State. The Bobcats with Adrian the Alien will play tomorrow night against the Texas A&M Aggies here at Bluebell Park.
Wade Cooper comes in, slams the door on the USC Trojans. Gave up the 1 home run, but went 3 innings, faced 13 hitters, 5 strikeouts. How about this bullet? To end the game, a game-saving play at third base by Chase Mora. And the Texas State Bobcats scared the Palo Alto Regional back in 2022 at 2-0, and they start off this one with a win. 1-0 against the USC Trojans. Texas State moves on to play Texas A&M tomorrow night.
Chase Mora with a 2-run home run in the top of the ninth inning to put his team up 5-4. And now USC will hand the baseball to Mason Edwards, who leads the country in strikeouts to try and keep their season alive in an elimination game tomorrow against Lamar. What a day of baseball. Texas A&M trailed 5-0. They came back and won 7-5. Texas State down a run in the ninth. They get a 2-run home run, and they win it 5-4. For Todd Walker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Richard Cross saying so long from College Station. We'll send you now to Squeeze Play. Chris Budden, Matt Schick, Berkey. Take it away, friends.